What do you think's going to happen this week? I mean, with the whole Russia thing.
The Russia thing is just a big nothing burger.
Really?
Also interesting is, remember, it's illegal to possess these stolen documents. It's different for the media. So everything you learn about this, you're learning from us.
He could have undermined the messaging so much that he can actually control exactly what people think, and that is our job.
Yeah.
At this moment in history, as we're looking at efforts across the country to prevent people from being able to exercise their fundamental rights,
Jobs of the past are just not going to come back. And when somebody says that he's going to bring all these jobs back, well, how exactly are you going to do that? What are you going to do? I'm going to negotiate a better deal. Well, how? What magic wand do you have? How exactly?
How exactly didn't you see those jobs coming back? It was just Obama's programs. Why didn't he know that was going to work then?
I have to remind people that all the time, like the magic wand moment where he's like, it's never going to be that good again. And then it got that good again. So.
And then they're like, it's Obama. No, it ain't.
No, he told you straight up, never going to be good again.
Welcome all again.
Welcome back. Here we are.
That's the Sanctimonious Men.
I'm blasting you with too much light again.
That's all right.
Last week it was me. Now it's you.
I look good in the light.
You look like Nosferatu.
Powder. I'm Sanctimonious Barnes. With me as always is Sanctimonious Brandon.
Sanctimonious. Yep. It's getting better and better every day being sanctimonious.
Yes, it really is. I'm the most saintly guy I know.
It's just the headlines just keep coming and turning our way. I'm gonna fix that light quick.
All right, fix that light.
Here we go. A little even it out.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. Whoever tuned in, you fool. But thanks for tuning in.
Nobody's tuned in.
We will do anything that person wants.
All right. I guess I thought it looked a little better. Yeah, it does look
It's
a little better.
It looks like rays of light.
We should probably get some real lighting. That's what we should do.
I have a bunch of lighting.
Yeah, bring it over, man. We could hook it up there, shining down like we're pros or something.
I have so many craft lights. It's unbelievable. Craft lights.
Yeah, getting back to stuff that you like to do, I was thinking we need to start 3D printing D&D stuff for
That'd
you.
be cool. I'd check that out.
Like I was looking at this guy that did a little something the other day, and he did it super fast, and I was like, yeah, I know how to do that. It'd be so simple to, like, I don't know if it's modular, how you would put something together or not, but whatever your square size is to do like a little path and walkway and shit like that. It's very simple.
I have all that shit already, but I print out. We could
Did you design it yourself?
No, I haven't done anything.
There you go. And that's what I'm talking about. No, I'm talking about designing the things yourself and then producing them and selling them.
I've altered a lot of shit.
Right.
Yeah.
So custom. Custom work.
Yeah. Custom work.
Custom. But how was your week besides
It was a busy week. It's the first week I've had a car, full week I've had a car in a while. And
yeah.
Got a new phone and what else is going on?
I got a new phone too. I don't know where the fuck it
They're
is.
so big anymore. They're like, what the hell is this?
They're not all that size. See, I mean,
I know.
you can get a flip phone.
Where'd you get that anyway? Walmart?
The AT&T store.
Did
They replaced
really?
it. Yeah, that had an older flip phone, and they just gave this as a new one.
Because they wouldn't even sell me an old, smartphone.
What's this? It looks like I got a new text message.
I'm in there, and this phone is from 2015 that I had.
Oh, it's from Chris. He says he's not coming.
Yeah.
Next week, though.
Next week.
Cool.
So I'm in there.
All righty, all right. How about Matthew McConaughey going out and being a political stooge?
Shill.
I like him, and that sucks. I'm sure he's, concerned. But a lot of this just goes back to people don't understand. It's
This is about the mass shootings?
I think so, because it was in Texas, and you should be upset when children die. The guns don't kill people; it's the mental illness that does.
Well, that's just it, And like as far as like gun deaths per population, we're not at the top.
Yeah. And there's also, if you look at places where they don't have guns, the stabbing deaths and other forms of murder are way higher than
Right.
here.
But there's a lot of countries that normally have a higher gun rate death per population than we do. I don't know if they have as many mass shootings, but they definitely have more murders and suicides by gun or firearms. Is what it really is. That's the category: firearms, not guns.
Right.
Because laser gun is not covered by any of this shit. And China has been giving its troops directed energy weapons, so it's only a matter of time before firearms are obsolete.
I was watching this guy. I forget what his channel was, but woo, makes you want to think twice about just even firing guns. He had a 50 cal blow up on him.
Oh wow! I wouldn't even try to shoot a 50 cal unless it was mounted.
It looked like a chintzy 50 cal. Tell you the truth.
Was it mounted?
It was It looked like a chintzy 50 cal. That's all I'm gonna say. But it was because I think it was made to be super lightweight, but it blew up on him. He had to stick his thumb in his throat because it pierced his jugular.
Oh man!
He made it though, but
damn,
he's got shirts that he's selling that says "just put a thumb in it."
This is a show.
I think it's like Kentucky. Some.
They're not toys; they're tools.
Right. I mean, I don't know who it was. They were on the floor the other day, and they brought up the point. They go, weapons. They're not. Are they for hunting? Sure. Are they for self-protection? Sure. Well, what they're really there for is to arm yourself against a tyrannical government.
That's what it says.
That's what it's for.
That's what it says.
And these people don't understand that.
The thing is that
these soft, these
Madison,
baby
right?
shit people.
Madison was known amongst the founding fathers as a tyrant. He was the most tyrannical. He wanted a strong central federal government, which everyone else was like, I don't know about a strong central government. We just got away from that. But Madison really pushed for it. He didn't get it. The Federalists won and the states' rights won in that battle. But Madison was asked by a merchant, hey, I got a merchant ship. Can I have guns? And the guy, Madison, was like, actually, the reason why I wrote and signed the Constitution is so you can have this cannon. It's state of the art.
Yeah.
And that cannon that was recommended by Madison could take down buildings today. You could take down a school.
Jeez.
It's got a lot more destructive power than a gun. Maybe rate of fire isn't as high.
So when do we get our F-14 Tomcats?
That's what I'm saying, man. When do I get nukes? But there's other arguments about they couldn't envision repeating rifles. Actually, Jefferson recommended to Lewis and Clark a repeating rifle for them to bring with them west, and Jefferson also authored and signed the Constitution. And so,
hey,
Jefferson was
protection.
He was recommending. It was what was it called? It was an Italian make, and it was an air rifle. It's not as powerful as the air rifles today, but it still was able to kill people. They used it to kill people.
I see they're selling rail guns now for commercially.
Yeah,
yeah.
I knew that was going to happen. I knew too many people that were doing fucking garage experiments with rail guns.
Yeah, I was watching them fire some at. You can set like the rate of speed. You can set like how powerful it is. There's all these different settings. So it's like you could like seriously. I mean, I don't know if you can kill somebody with some of the ones I was watching, but you could seriously fuck someone up, or you could just be like playing like fucking tag.
You could. I mean, you put it on.
Not as good of a shot, but
right.
Put
it on.
Lob it in there.
Yeah. So I mean, so the technology is kind of old. Firearms are what 400 years old. The technology, black powder, gunpowder. Whatever.
Yeah, but not weapons.
What do you mean, not weapons?
I'm just saying it's a weapon. It's basically a weapon.
It's a weapon, but the technology for the weapon is 400 years old.
Yeah, but it's not the tech. We're still talking like what I said before. It's the act that does the killing, not the weapon.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's like if we didn't have nobody had guns on this earth, there'd still be people getting murdered.
I'm waiting for people to start sending guns to Ukraine, collecting guns for Ukraine or some shit.
Well, that's the other thing I think people are pissed about. They're like, wait a second, you're arming other countries, but trying to take away my rights to bear arms. It's bullshit.
Yeah. And there's no way to really, regulate it without having a stronger mental health what is the word? Infrastructure.
Yeah, mental health programs, or even
Programs,
just like
asylums.
there needs to be besides mental health programs, just moral, like some type of moral guidelines for younger children in schools. I don't know. It's like, was there anything like that for us, other than the teachers being like guiding us to be like, that's right, that's wrong?
There might have been a firearms class.
Some schools are starting firearms classes.
I know that Sardis did at one time have one. I'm not sure if there was one there.
Well, that goes back to like where we used to be able to buy. When we were younger, you could look in the Sears catalog and get a fucking gun.
Yeah.
It's because people weren't so fucked up. People weren't so fucked up in the head. They didn't want to go out and fucking kill people.
Yeah, I know my grandparents must have known, and my mom, that I had, weapons or whatever, and my friends did, but they never.
Yeah, they didn't think you were going to go and like
No.
make a statement.
No, they never.
I think that also probably
Shooting cans in
it
the woods.
coincides with the rise of media as well. Like
Yes.
once there was all these new media stations and news became a 24-hour news cycle, it's like as soon as you did it, you could be on TV.
Right.
So it became like your 15 seconds became, you could do it. If you couldn't find no other way to do it, you did something horrible. You could find a way to be famous for a couple seconds, couple minutes. It's definitely intertwined somehow. And it's all Mortal Kombat's fault, really. Fatalities, yeah. It's just desensitized all of us youngsters.
Before we go away from firearms and shootings, mass shootings and mental illness, I'd like to talk a little bit about the Buffalo shooting.
You found out some more information. How fucked up
there's
that
just this one really strange person, one victim, who was a victim of question. The security guard at that Tops supermarket. He had applied for a patent.
No.
For a hydrogen engine, a water hydrogen engine, hydroelectric water.
Get the fuck
Yep.
out of here.
Yeah.
Where'd you find this?
Well, it was in the news. It was in the Buffalo local news at one time. And
So, like before the incident,
yes,
he was in the paper for this patent.
He was on the news, on television, but he might have been in the paper as well. He was also making videos about it.
That's fucking spooky.
Yeah, that is a little spooky. I don't know if it's a coincidence or if it's just another guy that got fucking knocked off. Who knows? But hold on.
Do you have any of the info?
I
mean, I only got a bunch of shit this week. Like, what is that there? That fucking scumbag, Ezra Miller from The Flash and other shit like that. He's a scumbag. Supposedly, like, grooming some little Native American kid.
Jesus.
We got compilation. I don't have... Jesus.
Aaron Salter Jr. was his name.
Aaron.
And if you look it up, Natural News, Aaron Salter Jr. is a security guard at the Tops Friendly Market store in Buffalo who was killed in the recent mass shooting. Had reportedly just patented a new type of vehicle engine that runs on water instead of gasoline. That's USA News. Washington
Jeez.
Standard has it.
Coincidence?
Could be a coincidence.
I think not.
But maybe not.
I think not.
He was an ex-cop. You know what? It's just odd that these people keep dying somehow. It's strange and unusual.
Yeah, we're at like 20 food processing plants too right now. It just keeps going up.
It just keeps going. And I'm wondering, how hard could this water engine be if this many people have discovered it?
Oh, there's been, I've seen plenty of like different. I mean, I saw Bob Lazar in his Corvette. Like I watched one of his the other day. The only reason you can't get his is because you need a nuclear not a nuclear reactor. You need a particle accelerator to create this type of reaction that will keep the fusion going in these tanks or something like that.
Okay.
So he made one because he's smart enough to know how to do it,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't do it under federal law, like to sell it, or it's a restricted type of material.
Really?
So it's okay for you to do it by yourself, but you cannot like
Commercialize.
commercialize it. Yeah. So he's got himself a hydrogen-powered Corvette.
Okay,
And he says just, all he's got to do is plug it in at night and fucking
that's it.
next day he's good to go.
Hmm.
It extracts the hydrogen from the water overnight, and then it pumps it into these like 4 tanks that sit in the back of his trunk, which inside of these tanks has this special material that allows the hydrogen not to I don't know, to stay stabilized or something like that.
Hydrogen's stable, but there's many different types of hydrogen.
I forget what the actual, or maybe the material that he's making with his particle accelerator is what he's using to split the hydrogen and the oxygen. I forget exactly how it works, but the tanks were also kind of super valuable. He had expressed.
I got you.
Yeah, check out Bob Lazar's hydrogen, and then you said this guy applied for a patent.
Yeah.
I know there was another dude that supposedly got whacked in the 80s, and he's got videos on the internet. Hydrogen.
There's a bunch of them. Aaron Salter Jr. was his name, the security guard. He's allegedly patented a new type of engine that ran on water instead of gasoline. There's a lot of write-ups about it.
Water wars.
Exactly, that's what's going on.
You go watch the old Water World.
I've never saw that.
What?
I've never seen that. I played not the video game, the role-playing game, which is based off of those.
You never seen the movie, but you played a role-playing game about it.
Yeah.
Kevin Costner and
old Kevin.
What was the bad guy? It was Hopper.
Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper, yeah. Yep, amazing performance by Dennis Hopper.
He's been around for. He's still alive.
I don't believe so. I'd have to look that one up.
He was in.
So, what was he in? Blue Velvet.
Well, yeah, but he was in the motorcycle movie there.
Easy Rider.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Old classic.
All right, so we're gonna have to look into this guy,
Aaron Salter Jr.
Aaron Salter Jr.
Died during the Buffalo shootings.
Just happened to patent recently too.
That's what it said. Yeah.
A hydrogen.
A water engine.
Water engine. Do.
Freaky, right? What are the chances?
I mean, that goes that goes straight to the conspiracy theorist wheelhouse.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you can't make this stuff up.
No, you can't.
It's just if you're writing some shitty movie, would be the plot. You're like, how about this? Nobody's gonna believe that, but it's a good plot for a movie.
Good plot for a movie. 10 years later. What else?
It's like the Manhattan Project, the kid that makes the nuke.
Was that the movie?
The Manhattan one? Yeah. I just watched it recently. Not fully. I was just like in and out, and I'm like, wow, this is so cornball. It's amazing.
It's like a late 80s movie, right?
Yeah. It's got like, I forget which girl it is from Sex and the City, but one of the girls from Sex and the City is in it.
Probably,
the tall redhead one.
Oh.
Yeah.
That one.
But she was a blonde in this.
Mm-hmm. My favorite one is Gracie Law.
Gracie Law.
What the hell is she doing here? What the hell's her real name?
I know you
Kim
come, but
Cattrall?
there's something wrong with your face.
Kim Cattrall. That's
Mhm.
it. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite lines in that fucking movie, where they're having that fast-paced conversation, and she's like, "I'd go with you, but they'd smush in my face," or something like that, and they keep talking, and at one point he's like, "Yeah, I know you'd come with us, but there's something wrong with your face."
She was also in what's the one where she's a new teacher at the school, and they bring her into the boys' locker room, and she starts howling, right? She gets
Porky's?
Porky's. Porky's.
Yeah.
She's in Porky's as well.
She's in the old Porky's.
I finally saw Northman. That was all right.
Oh, yeah.
It was all right. I got it on here.
It's a good movie. I
Yeah,
told you it was
it's
good.
Yeah, it was good. I didn't realize Bjork was in it, or Ethan Hawke, but
Yeah, I thought that was Bjork. I didn't look at the credits. It was. She was the little magic person,
Yeah, she had like the wheat
magician
hair. Yeah.
woman. Yeah,
Shells with 3 eyes.
the witch.
Yeah, she was the witch.
It was a great movie, I thought. I mean, as far as movies go nowadays, it's fucking should win an Oscar.
Yeah, definitely. It was a little hard to follow because they bounced around a little bit and errors, but besides that, it was hard to tell exactly what was like magical dream world and what wasn't at times. I thought it was a good movie. It was.
It's a simple movie, but
Yeah.
good, very well imagery, good imagery, very well written for just a simple plot,
Yeah.
revenge plot.
Not a lot of special effects or nothing. There were some.
So, okay, go ahead, keep going.
That's it. I just thought it was a good movie.
I was going to mention people getting banned from PayPal for reporters actually getting banned from PayPal. I saw Jimmy Dore cover this story. Who it was originally reported by. Fuck. I don't see it here, but anyways, this Wyatt Reed says it's becoming clear there's a concerted campaign of economic attacks against journalists who push back against the mainstream media narrative, especially on Ukraine. Mere hours after my PayPal ban, another critical media voice was just booted off the platform as well.
Wow.
So when we were talking about this social credit stuff, you can't say stuff or you're not going to have access to society. They're doing it. They're really doing it.
Yeah.
It's like we already said with Alex. Who else was there? I think Lauren Southern. There's been so many people that, of course, they're going to be called far right, but these are just normal journalists. So it starts with them, and everybody cheers it on,
Right.
and then it just keeps
Creeping,
yeah, and anybody that's going to say anything other than what big tech likes, you're fucked.
That's the part that I don't fucking understand. How did all these people decide, I agree with the corporations?
Especially all these people that you grew up with that were supposedly liberal, like, just like freedom of speech,
Sure.
ACLU. The ACLU's even fucked now.
Right. We grew up outside of Woodstock, so it's just like super liberal,
And now most of those Woodstock people are fucking like Nazis.
I know. It's
The
totally,
Woodstock people have turned to Nazis.
it's like fucking repressing you with my peace symbol bat.
Mm-hmm. I don't like what you're saying. You need to shut up and be quiet. Shut down.
That's it. There's a lot of
You don't have the
coercion.
right.
That's like that chick in Human Resources up in Canada who was flipping out saying, did you see that video?
No.
So there's this woman who's in Human Resources and, she's saying, be careful what you put on social media because there's a lot of angry women and we hate you and we're not going to give you jobs. And I'm like, this is coercion. Like,
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
what the fuck? Like, that's what you've gotten
It's
to?
like, if you don't say what we want, we won't hire you.
Yeah, we'll make sure that we know you got families. to
Well, did you
feed.
see the WAPO just fired a woman for like totally going on a tirade?
Oh, yeah, on Twitter, right?
Yeah, because like one of her coworkers, they retweeted a tasteless joke. Basically, it was a stupid joke. It said most women are bipolar. They're either, I even forget the joke.
Show me the lie.
Shut the fuck up. But she went, trying to get him fired. And then when other people were like, whoa, just pump your brakes. It's just a joke. Okay. He apologized. Can we, not like
Dude, it's
keep attacking. She just kept like going.
half the
Like,
fucking country.
where they're fucking, froth coming out of her mouth.
Maybe they're not like that, but they don't think it's a problem because they don't say anything, And this happens all the time. And, like in our country or our society or whatever, some people have free reign to be angry for fucking ever for some reason socially, and I don't know why.
I remember Joe Rogan saying this like 4 or 5 years ago. It's the new pastime. It's like the new way to have fun. It's a recreational outrage.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like if people are just fucked in the head, they think like, the more people I can get fucking canceled, the more powerful I am. It's like and they're keeping score. It's like a game.
It's like a game to them.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with that is eventually you lose the game. Eventually the game comes for you.
I think that's what's happening right now because this woman that got fired from the Washington Post, she just crossed the line and people just had it. What the hell's her name here? Felicia Somez.
Yeah, I saw a picture of her.
Yeah.
Cute girl. Sad she doesn't have
This
a job.
woman was a silence breaker on harassment, and she was fired for it. These must be like the people trying to protect her. People stepping up to the plate, to defend the friggin' message. The message.
Gotta defend the message. If you gotta defend your message, then your message is shot. It should be self-evident, maybe not self-evident, but it should stand on its own merits at least.
Well, that's the problem with like most of these, like you said, the new younger people. They don't even want to have the debate.
No.
And they're clearly much less intellectual than they think they are.
Oh, absolutely.
Like when AOC was called out by Ben Shapiro to have a debate, she just drops back to it's sexual harassment or something
she's got
stupid
nothing
like that.
else.
Because she
win.
can't debate them
She can't
because she
debate 'em.
fucking get pounded into the dirt.
She won an audition to become congresswoman by, I think it was Democracy Now! It was some group that held auditions trying to get Congress people in. And she won in the Bronx, the audition, and she got picked for the nomination.
That's crazy.
It's legal, but it's fucked up.
Okay, here's just, since we're sanctimonious American men, we must be sexist.
Yes.
No. We're not sexist, but we're tasteless. And here's the tasteless joke that
Might be a little.
created the whole Washington Post upheaval or just like stupid scandal. It says every girl is bi. You just have to figure out if it's polar or sexual. Not the greatest joke, but
not bad.
Not bad.
It's not the worst. That's a joke.
That's a joke. Yeah, you're gonna get a girl mad. You tell her she's bipolar.
Well, I've heard a lot of people talk about this. Jordan Peterson for one, and
he's toxic.
He's right on point about this. Women are more likely to receive health care. So women are more likely to go to the doctors if something's wrong. They got more parts.
Don't talk facts. Facts are
racist.
Facts are bigot. You're a bigot.
And so because of that, we know that the pharmaceutical companies are out of control and that people are prescribing shit that they don't need. We know that has side effects. So if you're more likely to go to see a doctor, you're more likely to get pharmaceuticals. Now is the time when you're most likely to get pharmaceuticals you don't fucking need when you go to the doctor.
Yeah, they're giving them away to make money.
Exactly. They're getting kickbacks. I mean,
It's like, if you can get rid of these pills, you're going to get this much of a percentage. So the person comes in, the doctor is like, you could probably use these.
Yes, exactly. And then they get a kickback. They get a free vacation or something.
They get to go to the beach.
Yeah, whatever it is. They made a movie about this years ago.
Weekend at Bernie's.
No, it was about.
That's about the Biden administration.
Yeah. So this whole big pharma thing's been going on for a couple of decades now. Bernie's against it, so any of your Bernie bros should be against it. But he kind of turned face there in the middle of the pandemic.
He turned face when he gave Hillary the fucking to the DNC the nomination in 2016.
He just didn't want to get Arkansas.
He didn't want to get He didn't want to
get little rocked.
Little rocked. That would be a good song. Little rocked with Hillary.
What was I doing?
You want to get little rocked?
I was talking about that fucking
who?
Matt Walsh there, and I started singing the Bee Gees. You know that song? More than a woman.
Mm-hmm.
I was singing. What is a woman?
Matt Walsh. I didn't get. You said you saw that.
I saw. I
still haven't seen.
I have to retract. I saw most of it.
Okay. I hear it's the #1 documentary in the country right now.
I believe it.
I think a lot of people are confused, and they have to see it because they don't understand why people can't define a woman. They're like,
fucking ridiculous.
It makes no sense that someone, especially like most of the people in the show supposedly that he interviews are professionals in their respected fields of gender or sexuality, and he's asking these people who supposedly have degrees in this stuff, what is a woman?
Yeah.
And they fucking can't answer
it. He's at a women's march, and this lady's like, "Get out of here! This march is for people who support women." He's like, "I do. What is that? Can you tell me what that is? No? Why are you here if you don't know what that is?" Yeah, it's pretty cringy, and there's a lot of people, like, especially in the parade part, where you could tell that they were like, they want to say, "Oh, born from vagina," but they just won't.
They can't say it. Yeah. Well, it's because people are scared right now. They know they could lose their job. They could lose friggin'.
That's the LGBTQ mafia.
They could lose all kinds of stuff, you know? I mean, if we had an audience, we'd probably be getting shut down already. It's lucky we don't got nobody watching us.
Nobody watches us, so just jabber on.
We could just jabber on all we want.
It's Pride Month, and this is something that's always struck me as odd about Pride Month. First of all, they get a month. I thought that was weird.
If anybody out there in the audience right now wants to report us, go for it. If we could use a good canceling.
Use a good cancel. Kick up our credentials a little bit. Street cred. But they get a whole month. You know, like, people who died for the country get a day. You know, like people died for the in service fighting wars get a day. The country itself gets a day. You know, but they get a whole month, and like it's just like a sexual preference is all that's going on. It's getting a whole month.
Yeah, like there's some hero shit going on.
Yeah, I'm like, when does Doggy Style Month come in? Can I get that?
Oh my God, Doggy Style Month.
Slap them cheeks, baby.
It's
my sexual.
I like Morgan Freeman's take on that when he was talking to what the fuck's the guy's name from 60 Minutes?
Oh, the Jewish guy.
Yeah, he's like, "Do they have a Jewish month?" He's like, "No." He goes, "Do you want one?" He's like, "No." He's like, "Then why do I gotta have a month?"
Yeah.
You know, he's like, "Well, so you could, you know, people know your history," and he's like, "Why don't you want them to know your history?" And he's like, he's like, "I find it offensive." You know, he's like,
Morgan Freeman has one of the best takes on racism I've ever heard.
Yeah.
In that same interview, he says, "How about you stop referring to me as a black man, and I stop referring to you as a white man, and there, that way it just goes away."
Exactly.
It becomes a non-issue.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way we were raised.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Like if it's a non-factor, their skin color. Don't even pay attention to it. Not to say that, you know, there wasn't racism.
Human.
Yeah, and not to say that there wasn't racism when we were younger, because there obviously was, but the emphasis was more logical on like what to do about it and how to combat it. And I don't think a lot of us, in our age bracket at least, I don't know about the younger generation or older generation, it just wasn't in our hearts, you know. Even the people that like in school who were like labeled racist or whatever, and maybe they'd said and did some racist shit as jokes, and you know, whatever.
But it wasn't like they were ready to
put on a Klan suit.
Yeah, and take fucking try and take back the country or something like that. They were just dumb fucks.
Yeah, that's all. So one of the funniest was this is after I was out of school. There was a kid who I knew who was who was a wannabe racist. He grew up to be normal, but he was wannabe. And so he was getting teased about it at school, and he decided he was going to put a Confederate flag on there. Why? I don't know why he thought
on
that.
Where?
On his car there.
Jesus.
On his truck. And so
and
whoever did it never finished it. Right? They put the white X on there, and that was it. You know, for like
they didn't finish detailing it with the stars and the blue or nothing.
No red, nothing. Right? So he's driving around with a white X on his truck. This is when Malcolm X came out.
The movie Malcolm X.
Yeah. So he's driving around with his white X. I thought that was so funny.
Jesus.
Anyway, but you know, he was misconstrued, obviously. Especially like, what the fuck you dragging the Confederate flag for out in New York? What the fuck?
Well, that's the other thing too, is people being offended by everything.
Well, the weird part about the Confederate flag is like, it's like a neither here nor there. All right, so the Confederacy never officially existed. Nobody recognized it. I think the Cherokee might have. They were trapped though. They were fucking trapped in Georgia. You know? So
Cherokee Nation.
they were trapped, so they didn't have much of a choice. But nobody else recognized the Confederacy. And we were basically like, the Confederacy doesn't exist. And so now when people get upset about it, it's like, you're getting upset about it like a flag of Narnia, you know? And it is part of our heritage because those people identified to it.
Right. I mean, it was on the General Lee, for Christ's sake.
And it's not that I would ever go out and buy a Confederate flag. Now, I have some symbols of that on little soldiers.
Yeah, well, it's called history.
Oh, yeah. I have some on little tin soldiers. And I actually have a zombie that's still holding the flag. He's like still going.
Okay.
But, you know, that the South is my country, you know, just as much as Puerto Rico is my country. And I take pride in Puerto Rico. Even though I'm not Puerto Rican, it's still my country, and I still take pride in it. I don't like people talking bad about Puerto Rico because it's my country. You know, I take offense to that sometimes. And
that's where we got to get back to. Like, do you feel like you're part of something or not? Are you an American? Are you part of this friggin' experiment?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. The friggin' people that are they hate America. They fucking hate it. I mean, the people I know and love have been brainwashed over the past decade, and in large part by social media.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like a fucking hive mind, brain fucking virus. It's infiltrated their fucking neural network, and all they have is like hatred towards the stuff that they've been told to hate on social media.
I hate this stuff so bad that I'm gonna be worse than that is. Oh, great. Awesome. That's basically what's going on. And a lot of this is all exception to the rule. Yes, racism exists, but it's an exception to the rule in our society. Like, most people aren't racist. We don't tolerate
I've had to tell multiple family members that, like, where all of a sudden they're repeating narratives from the mainstream media, and I'm like, go look at the FBI numbers. They make up fucking nothing of the friggin' American population, white supremacists.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, you know, that's funny because when the Charlottesville thing happened, what the hell is their name? Southern Poverty Center, and what's the Jewish one? The
Anti-Defamation League.
Yeah, they came out and like all the Democrats were talking about white supremacy, and they were like, "That's our job." No, no, that's not happening. What are you guys talking about? And then eventually they had to cow down.
They had to cow down. Yeah.
And here's the funny part about it. There's groups like the National Socialist Movement, which is this group that I guess is like National Socialist. I don't know much about them, except that they're real Nazis.
Holy fuck.
They're not even on the radar anymore. Like,
no.
It still exist.
Isn't it hilarious since Ukraine busted out, Nazis aren't even a thing anymore?
Like, what's going on?
It's like, dude, there's a fucking, I think it was the Associated Press posted a picture of somebody over in Ukraine. They're like, this man is friggin' checking after a bomb went off and this, and you know, and somebody pointed out, what's that strange tattoo on his arm? And it was a fucking swastika.
So ridiculous.
The Associated Press is so dumb. They're posting pictures of dudes with swastikas on their arms.
Like, all right. I knew a lot about them, the Nazis, the actual Nazis, Strasserist, whatever. And I knew so much about them that I couldn't have a conversation about Nazis with real Nazis because they didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. And all of a sudden, all this happens, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This has gotten to the point where, like, it's going to creep up, and we're not even going to recognize it because nobody knows what they're looking for. It's like a lot of anti-fake people. All right, you know, what about Giovanni Gentile don't you like? What about fascism don't you like? Can you define it for me? No. How are you against something you can't define? I'm not saying that we should give all the fucking, that we should agree with the corporations politically, but
and like change all of our like pictures on social media to
Yeah.
agree with corporations. You don't condone that?
I don't believe in a symbiotic relationship between the government and private enterprise. No. But it just boggled my mind, like, because I actually knew things that, like, I still do, about Nazism. Like, it was something that I studied, not that I ever
Yeah.
got into it, but
Is interesting to you, and so you
yeah,
read
course.
up on it.
You know, I mean, any mass movement.
I mean, I found myself like at fucking 3:00 the other night. I don't know why. I mean, I'm not as steeped in it as you, but I'm watching World War II in like a compressed into 15 minutes, and it's the map of fucking Europe, and it's all the troop movements, and it's all day by day, and there's I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah,
but it's interesting.
It's interesting. Like, I read,
and there's many people that find it interesting.
Right. It's part of history. I read Albert Speer's autobiography. He's AKA the good Nazi. He was Reich.
Jesus Christ, is that a movie yet?
No, not
Good
yet.
Nazi.
He was a Reich minister, but he was an architect, and he was responsible for them making more weapons and surviving the bombing, which is what he contributed, which did kill Americans, but they let him live. He lived into the 70s, died in Berlin. But he knew Hitler personally or whatever. I read his autobiography, and at first I was like, interesting. And then I thought about it for a while, because it was just all like, he had all these pleasant memories of Hitler and didn't really, had all these excuses on why he didn't know anything.
Jeez, yeah, convenient excuses.
Wait a second, you're this close to this guy, you're like his best friend, because they were like best friends, but you have no clue what he's up to behind your area of specialties. Now, maybe
a very sneaky bastard.
Now they say that Nazi Germany was very compartmentalized, and maybe it is.
Pretty much everything's compartmentalized, though. If you look at America, we're so
Sure.
fucking
Yes,
compartmentalized.
we are.
It's just as bad.
Just as bad, absolutely. Because there's things going on cutting edge science that I won't find out for 20 years in America.
Yeah,
That's
stuff
happening
going
now.
on in the CIA right now that make you
Oh.
fucking shit, fucking blood.
The intelligence community. I
There's
hope
stuff
you all
going on in
die,
the FBI.
because you're no longer worried about protecting country. All you are is trying to cover up a bunch of lies that you created fucking 50 years ago, and it's just an endless cycle now. And people overseas, they don't differentiate between the CIA and me.
Yeah, exactly.
So the CIA is out there making policy for us without ever having no oversight, not even us knowing what's going on. They're the worst. The intelligence community's gone amok, and it's all ran on blackmail. I got to have dirt on this one so I can hold it over him so he doesn't talk about the
You don't
dirt
get
on
to
me.
play the game unless we get blackmail on you.
Oh, yeah. Or you have blackmail on them, whichever one.
Pay to play.
Pay to play unless you call Schwab. Yeah.
So, yeah, the fucking corporations, big government, it's all
It's happening.
coup de grace
Coup de grace.
to society.
Yeah, at least Western society. I mean, we are slipping into fascism. Just
Super slow. I mean,
with-
not even, actually. It's been pretty fucking fast.
It's been pretty fast, and it's just done with peace symbols now and
Yeah, it's like
a bunch of other stuff. Yeah.
pretty good marketing.
Now, one of the problems is that people always conflate fascism to racism, and that's because historically, some of them are racist. Some of the fascist regimes historically were racist, but Giovanni Gentile, the guy that came up with it, and Italy itself, Italy had always been multi-ethnic, multi-racial because of Rome. Everybody went to Rome.
It was just all cultures from all over the world.
Right. And, Rome had slaves, but some slaves became citizens, became rich, became senators. Just like here, it was very similar in that way.
Mm-hmm.
So they, at one time, eventually if you said to someone, I'm Roman, that wasn't like to say I'm Italian, right? Because that concept didn't exist to the 19th century. As an Italian, the Italian peninsula existed, but the common people as being Italian didn't exist.
It wasn't like a state.
Right. It wasn't even a language.
Mm-hmm.
They had their own little regional dialects that were similar. But it wasn't a national state, but So Rome and Italy itself in the 30s was multiracial, and they didn't make any ethnicity laws that I'm aware of in Italy until the Germans came in to Mussolini was rescued by Hitler. And
Until he was rescued.
well, everyone says that Mussolini was a dictator, which is true, but he wasn't a dictator until he was rescued by Hitler.
And then he started using like decrees. Before that, he
Well-
just was with Hitler. That before that, like the people in Italy, since he was like, we're gonna fight with them, everybody was like, okay, cool, we're gonna fight with them.
Yeah, they didn't get into it. And the war in Europe, Italy was like really trying to like choose its sides carefully, because in the First World War, they were part of the Allies, and they said to the Allies, "All right, we'll join you. All right, we'll join France. We're going to switch sides from the Germans and the Austrians, and we're going to switch sides, and we're going to join the French and the Belgians, in England, and you guys have to give us this." It was some like port city. I think it's Trieste, and at the end of the Versailles Agreement and the forming of the League of Nations, Italy didn't get it. So they were like, well, what the fuck did we lose all these people for? Why did we sacrifice all these people when...
So, long story short, they switched sides for World War II.
Yeah, well, yeah. In World War II, there was a sentiment of not trusting the French because they didn't, when they signed up for World War One, which was the biggest war ever fought at that time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like us talking about World War II. They didn't get what they were promised, so
they said, "Fuck you." For a little bit, like you said,
they were
because
weary.
then-
They were weary. They were weary of Germany too, because they didn't know if Germany was going to win. It wasn't clear to them. The future wasn't clear. So
When did they start? I mean, how much of Europe did Germany fucking take before Mussolini was like with him? Was it right from the get?
No,
yeah,
it wasn't from the get. No. So
because he took over fucking a lot of Europe.
I don't think it was until Germany went west at some point into France. So that was, I think France was like a 6-week campaign or something.
Okay.
Maybe it was longer than that, but in the middle of the French campaign, I believe the Italians joined the
Okay.
Germans. Which
After the French are already fucked.
probably. I mean, and that's another one. Like France had a free quote unquote government at that time, in southern France, Vichy France or whatever. That was, I think Mussolini had more control over Vichy France than Germany did. That's probably by a location thing, proximity. But what was my point?
I don't know. We're talking about World War II, and we probably should be talking about some more modern shit.
So Italy was always, people called him a dictator, and they called Mussolini a dictator.
Right.
which
Which
is
we were
true.
trying to get to the point.
But
it was after he was freed.
He was
Or-
appointed. All right, this is very,
rescued after Germany.
He was
rescued him.
rescued, right? Now he became in charge because he was appointed by the king.
Mm-hmm.
Does a dictator get appointed by a king? Normally,
No.
no. All right, and then he was imprisoned by a king. The king.
And this was after like sentiment turned south towards the Germans.
No, this is once they joined the Germans. Mussolini had been in power for a long time by the time World War II happened, and during the middle of the war, the king arrested Mussolini,
What for?
being Mussolini.
I thought it was because he the sentiment of the country had changed against him.
It could have been. It did eventually,
Right. And that's why the Germans had to rescue him to fucking regain control.
That could very well be, but at least it did in the core powers of Italy. It did.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had him arrested, which again, dictators don't get arrested. But, and then Hitler didn't like that, so he sent his paratroopers, his special trained paratroopers, to go rescue him from a monastery on top of a mountain. But once Hitler puts him in power, he's definitely a dictator.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Before he was appointed by the king.
But then after that, it's straight up. Yeah,
Yeah.
you call the shots, buddy.
Mhm.
Speaking of paratroopers, I saw this thing. Get back into some modern day shit here. A squirrel suit with a jetpack on it.
Oh, that's cool.
So it has like these two fans that hang off your chest. And I think it's powered by, fucking some lithium battery or something like that. But it's not actually jet powered. It's more, I think, electrical powered. So it's not like a combustible like a jet fuel would be. But it's electric and it's fan. Two of these, I forget what the fuck name, turbines. There we go. These electrical twin turbines, and it's a squirrel suit. Dude, you can jump out of a fucking plane and fucking go flying around like Superman.
That's nuts. I thought those squirrel suits were nuts when I first saw them. Like, wait a second, you got to climb the Alps?
I've always wanted to use one of those
Did
things. Always.
I had dreams about them as kids. Like fucking.
Just float. I've had tons of dreams about flying.
I basically had the Wile E. Coyote
Wile E. Coyote what?
dream, basically, as a kid, where he puts the wings on.
Oh, right. The little Batman looking wings.
Yeah.
Look like Leonardo da Vinci wings almost.
I thought we'd all have jetpacks by now. I thought that'd be a thing.
Oh, I mean, you can get one. Anybody want to give us some money on the internet? We'll go get one and fly it around.
You there? Yes, you watching.
I've talked with Jasper about that actually. I was like, dude, because I think the one is $500,000 and it's basically a jet snowboard or like skateboard. You stand on it. Have you seen the hydro ones, where it's like it connects to a jet ski?
Yes,
and the jets push you up in the air. They have ones that are jet powered, but for air.
Yeah,
so
yeah, I saw that.
The thing, I think he climbed like a 2,000-foot mountain in like fucking couple
Guy
minutes.
in a yellow suit.
There's all different fucking ones out there now.
I know that some of the park rangers, the rescue squads, are starting to use those.
Well, they have the Iron Man suits now too that have the two on the arm and the one on the backpack.
That's the one I saw, the two on the arm.
This is one you step onto like a board.
Oh, that's cool.
And you can just ride it around like the fucking Green Goblin or something.
Here's something that struck me today.
$500,000. Come on, send the money. Algorithm, send the money.
Algorithm, send the money. Here's something I thought of today.
We'll go for a rip. We'll go. I'll make you ride it too.
That'd be cool. What I was gonna say is I saw this. I passed a kid in had an electric bicycle.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he's got an electric bicycle, cool. And then I passed a kid on a fucking electric skateboard. And I'm like, that's why these kids are fat. It's not because they're not going outside. It's because they're not fucking doing anything when they go outside. At least we had a pedal and push. Jesus.
Yeah.
They're not even pedaling or pushing. And they're going 20-some odd miles per hour. I was stuck.
You got to get fucking where you're going to get back to your video game.
I guess so. I was stuck behind this kid going through the heights today. I'm like, holy shit.
Should I run him over?
Like, fuck.
10 points. 20 points. What the fuck movie is that from? It's an older movie and the girl's calling out like points. Oh, it's from fucking Any Which Way You Can, I think. It's when Philo Beto, they're up, I don't know, one of the mountain towns, and he's getting the shit kicked out of him. And what the fuck's his, he's with the, oh man, can't remember.
That was a joke for a long time, and then Grand Theft Auto came out, and it's like, somebody did this for real.
But no, that was actually from I forget which year that movie came out, but it had to be like early 80s. Late 70s, and she's calling out points for hitting people on the road.
Huh. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
the fucking Black Widows.
I thought I just saw Brown Recluse, but I wasn't sure.
You don't want to see those.
I've gotten bitten by one before.
You told, or what happened? I'm pretty sure you told me.
So there was a shipment of bananas that came up to New York, and they found their way to Kingston, and I helped somebody move.
It was in the bananas?
they got banana boxes from the grocery store. I was walking up the stairs, and I remember like, ow, what the fuck was that? And that was like the end of it. And then,
Felt like a bee sting or something. Less.
yeah, I felt like I had like a tack in my shoe or something.
Ooh, in the foot.
Yeah. And I was like, ow. And that it was one really quick, sharp pain in my toe. And then I didn't fucking think about it, you know? So the next day, my toe was all swollen up. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Which toe?
It was my big toe.
It looked like a friggin' good 10, 20% bigger.
Yeah, but there was a hole in it.
Rotting.
Rotting hole. Rotten, like overnight, my flesh.
Where? What side of the? Like, was it on the bottom, on the front, on the side?
It was on top, kind of like.
Okay, it's behind the nail.
It was on the corner of the nail.
Ooh.
Right off the corner.
So the poison had eaten the flesh.
Straight down. It was a hole that went straight down, like, and
ooh.
It looked like my skin had gotten really wet in that one spot, you know.
Right. Like you've been in the pool too long.
Yeah, way too long. And I was like, I can't fucking walk. So I went to the hospital, and after they figured out what it was, they came in with a little a little ice cream scooper like looking thing.
Ugh.
But except it had a
little tiny one.
Yeah, a little tiny. It had a razor on the edge. And the doctor came in and he scooped it out.
Like all the flesh that was like kind of nasty and soupy.
Yeah, and then they put it on. They kept it.
They went for samples.
Yeah, and they came back and they were like, you know, Michael, you were bitten by a brown recluse. We have several other victims in the hospital right now. We're trying to track their location. It was like a thing.
So it was kind of like a fucking outbreak. They had the little monkey come bring some bananas, and there's fucking shit ton of spiders that just got out.
Is that what happened in Outbreak?
No.
Oh.
I'm just saying because monkeys like bananas.
Yeah. It was just.
But it's similar. You know, something got brought in. You know, it was an invasive species.
And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, you got bit by a brown recluse. I was like, okay, whatever.
And it happened all over town that similar week.
Ulster County or whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow.
But they had other people in there.
The plot thickens.
And I was...
And most of those people had just applied for friggin' water-based engines.
But it was over 4th of July weekend, and that sucked. I was in the hospital the whole time. With a fucking...
Do you hate, like...
spider bite?
Spider bites, yeah.
I got something crazy going on right now.
We don't want to know.
Come on.
I was going to say, do you hate, like...
Something bit me.
You sure that's not poison ivy or something?
It might be poison ivy.
Yeah.
I don't know where I would have got poison ivy from.
I only stay inside.
Yeah.
I never go outside, people.
I got poison ivy from the rain one time.
The rain?
Yeah.
That's not possible.
It's possible. I was in Manhattan, and I got fucking rained on. And a couple days later, I had poison ivy.
Maybe it was up in a tree above you or something. The oils got washed off onto you.
Maybe. That's possible. There are not a lot of trees in Manhattan, though, Brandon.
There's a lot of sidewalks with trees.
There is sidewalks with trees. I'm not saying that there's no trees. I find it hard to believe. I got poison ivy.
What other new news is there? I didn't really take too many notes this week.
So, some Protestants are praying to the God of pronouns in the Midwest.
Oh my God. You sent me that, and I was just like, what the fuck? The fucking, what was it? The spectrum God of fucking pronouns. We pray to you.
You great God of pronouns. What the fuck are you talking about? The God of pronouns. Is there a God of verbs? What about adjectives? All right.
I'm praying to the great God of adjectives.
The great God of adjectives. Adverbs. You know, the God of adverbs is strong. You know, he's really strong. Shut the fuck up.
Suffixes.
It's so fucking retarded. Like, what? Our fucking country and society has gone off its fucking rocker. god of pronouns.
I posted something the other day because it's Pride Month, and I posted the Bill Maher thing saying, we're all going to be gay by 2080.
Yeah.
And I just put something like, if you say it's a trend, you're a bigot. And then I put Africa, Asia, and the Middle East are bigots also.
That's true.
Oh man.
I don't know. That's some places in Africa might not be, but Asia definitely doesn't do this shit. That's one of the things the Japanese are like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?"
Yeah.
We know we're nuts, but you guys are going off
To the fucking deep end. Yeah.
That's why they were like, no political statements at or social statements at the Olympics.
Yep. Yeah, it's a kooky world, man. It's really strange seeing people that you love and people that you once thought were like very, more or less intelligent and or just had a critical mind. And you find out that they're just willing to believe fucking anything.
Well,
they're willing to let language be disassembled in front of their very eyes.
Right. And see, this is the thing. Like, I was thinking about now I get most of this information from books and movies, but just stuff that I've read or watched over the years, where the older generation is upset with the younger generation.
It happens all the time.
Happens all the time, right? And I was just thinking about the stuff that they, went through, from like cars to radio,
telephones,
right?
Electric
light and all that.
Yeah.
Refrigerators, looking in the refrigerator too long, like leaving the light on, talking on the phone too much, listening to the radio too much, driving around. So eventually, there was the world wars, and then there was television and fast food, and rock and roll was one.
Yep. And every time it was, these kids are getting dumber.
Yeah, every time it was the same thing. And now we're dealing with boys have penises and girls have vaginas, and it's just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I imagine having to deal with the great satanic panic might have been a little easier on some people's minds than the gender fucking bending.
I'm sure it was. It was definitely less far-reaching. I think I said this last week. I grew up Catholic, and I brought my D&D books to fucking school, and nobody said anything. And I brought them to church. Nobody said anything.
During the satanic panic.
Yeah, I had friends, parents who did say things and show concern, and my grandparents showed a little bit of concern. But it was never mentioned in our church because I just don't think it registered on Catholics' radar as a threat. They're like,
yeah, but I mean, you haven't been to church in a while, have you?
It's been about a year since I've been.
Who are they saying anything about the gender stuff now? It might be not even on their radar. Hard saying, not knowing.
Yeah, it might not even be on their radar actually, because it's such a new phenomenon, and the church is over. It's nearly 2,000 years old, right? Yeah, almost 2,000 years old. So they've seen a lot of shit come and go, and survives. So, it's like when people are talking about tax the churches. Okay, we'll have Catholics and synagogues left. That's it.
I saw somebody online, and they were trying to defend the drag queen stuff, like taking little kids to the drag events and shit, because one of these Republican people that's posted something about it. They're like, "Oh, your husband fucking showed his cock to fucking some young girls when they were at a bowling alley," and this is like not MTG Green. It's like one of the other young Republican women. So anyways, they're trying to defend it by pointing out more bad behavior. And it's like, can't we just agree that it's bad to sexualize kids?
Yeah, in any way.
In any way. And then somebody else posts about the church. Or like, the church ain't the safest place either. And it's like, that's not the point. The point is, it's bad.
It's bad. Yeah, and if people do it at church, that's also bad.
That's also bad. Yeah,
Like,
anybody that does it, it's bad.
We were just talking about Porky's, right? I wasn't allowed to watch that as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I think that just had titties in it, right? I don't know if there's anything else in there.
No, it's just boobs. Yeah.
But I wasn't allowed to watch. There might have been some adult talk. There was, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't allowed to watch that, right? And
Right.
today's kids are looking at porn. Like I thought, but I was like 9 by the time I had interest in that or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it comes down to civilization. You know, are we civilized or, I mean, maybe we're too domesticated. Maybe you're right. All those freaking gay people are right. I don't fucking know. You guys want to live like cave people? We could do that.
Well,
I could go out and start bashing people over fucking head and being like, your stuff's now mine.
That's
You know, you want to just, let's just have a fucking, a primal fucking, everybody just does what they want.
I mean, as far as like the sexuality thing that's going on, it reminds me a lot of Caligula or Nero, where like Caligula had like dudes like wearing dildos on the army, wearing dildos on their hat, and they had dildo ships, and
He's just fucked up.
yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. Civilization in general, you should have like I think you should have some type of morals.
We do.
The future doesn't look like it's going to have much.
Yeah, that's the thing. Unless they wake up. But you know what? Poverty's coming, so that wakes you all up.
We're about to get a big wake up
There's
call
only
come
one
next
political party in poverty.
year. Yeah, my brother was he was getting a little worried. He's like I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's like with these prices and inflation, and he's like, and everybody's just fucking still spending money like it's fucking.
It's gonna hit.
I'm
hard.
like Ty. It's just people don't know. It's just people don't want to open their eyes. They're not willing to admit how fucked they are.
Oh yeah, they're fucked. We're fucked.
We're totally fucked.
I gotta get 40 cans of beans.
We're gonna be lucky if we got fucking electric up in this bitch next year.
Yeah,
It's gonna be expensive.
Yeah. Electric might, you don't need it.
We're gonna get some fucking hand cranks to keep the show going.
I don't need no fucking
We're gonna
electric.
get some bicycles. We're gonna be here on bikes next year. People like this. So, what were you doing this week?
I mean, electric is a really, it's a luxury. Really?
Yeah, it's not a right.
No, definitely not.
Nah.
It can come and go.
No.
It can go. Start saving lard, putting all your shit in lard so it doesn't go bad.
Yeah. Just save all that bacon grease.
Bacon grease, fry it out a couple more times.
Throw it in the freezer.
Yeah, throw it in the freezer.
As long as you got electric and you still have a freezer.
Even if it doesn't, you put anything in grease, put a piece of meat in grease, it's good. Nothing's gonna happen to it. It's not gonna go bad.
Honey, get lots of honey.
Yeah.
That you can never go bad.
Twinkies.
Get your Twinkies now. For
My
next
goal
year.
is 40 cans of beans and a hole in the ground.
What do you think is going to happen if they try and like pull some monkeypox shit or some other stuff and they're going to be like trying to lock it down again? Do you think people are going to fucking buy into it?
Well, monkeypox has a lot of visible signs, and I guess it's much more hard to contract.
This is just theoretical. You don't have to fucking get into the details. Do you think people are ready for another, or willing to submit to another lockdown?
Some people are.
Okay. But the masses, do you think there'll be a change of tone?
I think there will be a change of tone, but I think around here we'll see people willing to lock themselves down again.
But do you think you'll see enough people that being like, no, we're not willing to lock down. We're going fucking up to the Capitol, and we're going to sit around the goddamn Capitol until these laws or whatever bullshit decrees you fucking said disappear.
I think around here, we'll see that more so than we did last time, but I don't think it will be a majority.
I just can't imagine people buying into it because it's like all the way up until 2 years ago, this has never happened. And if they try and bring it back again, like within 5 years, so quickly, or even supposedly next year.
It happened before, right? They did shit during the Hong Kong flu. Not the Hong Kong flu. What was it?
But it just happened once.
Was it the HongOng flu?
Yeah, I think it was the Hong Kong flu in the late 60s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the Spanish flu of 1918.
Yeah, but it wasn't like back to back. That's what I'm saying. It was
No, it
like
wasn't.
happened once, and now
right,
we're good
right.
for 60, 80 years.
People weren't predicting it either. Politicians, I don't know, they're fucking
Yeah.
computer geniuses.
So if it happens like within another, like say another year, they're trying to bring lockdowns back. That'd be within like 3 years.
Yeah, it'd be quick.
That's suspicious.
Oh yeah, the first time was suspicious.
First time was suspicious.
American Samoa made it out clean. Again.
Your favorite topic, America Samoa.
Oh, fucking so proud of American Samoa. My country, man.
Yeah, we need to go there.
Oh, yeah, we do need to go there.
We need to also go to the Dominican Republic.
Why are we going to Dominican Republic?
It's nice and cheap. We could live there like all year for like $500. Maybe maybe $500 a month.
A month, all right. But that's in a tourist spot, right? Because I'm not sure about outside the tourist spots.
I hear it's pretty cool.
All right.
We should check into it though.
You can
And
see
the
it.
other thing is, it's a tax haven.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
You can see
If you live there, I think for 6 months out of the year, you don't have to pay federal income taxes.
where in America?
Dominican Republic.
Oh, well,
For America, yeah.
that,
American federal income tax.
I don't really worry about those kind of things. That's a non-factor for me.
So the other thing we got to do is we got to go to Egypt and check out the pyramids.
Yeah, before
We can't ever go again.
Yes. Before they get in wars of Israel and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Start taking us captive because we support Israel.
Yeah, I was looking into like some stuff this fall. We should try and go. I mean, I think a lot of the tours got booked up already, but there may be like ways to sign up, and if people fall out, you get put in.
Get the numbers.
Get the phone numbers, send them over.
Well, see how much it would be about, because I don't really know if it's feasible for me, but you know,
Maybe we could figure something out. Maybe we could do a little fundraiser.
a little fundraiser. Fund us.
Algorithm.
Algorithm.
us.
Send us to Egypt. Get us murdered over there.
You ever watch any of those Egypt channels? They're fucking awesome. Like
I haven't
Uncharted
in a long
X
time.
and friggin', of course, Graham Hancock and,
I haven't in a long time. Not in a
It's
long time.
amazing, the stuff that's over there. It's fucking amazing.
I did.
But you saw just as amazing stuff in South America.
Well, it's different, amazing stuff. I'd like to go see Egypt too.
Mm-hmm.
I did reach out to David Wilcock today.
David Wilcock. From where?
Well, he's from Oneonta.
Okay.
I know him from New Paltz.
This is the guy you were telling me about, had his own show?
Yeah, David Wilcock. He's got all kinds of. He's got a fucking movie. He's like a Graham Hancock, but newer, and he does a little more politics.
Okay.
Um,
You reached out.
yeah, just
Hey, how you doing?
how you been?
Touching base.
Well, I was his first interview
Okay.
back in the '90s,
Mm-hmm.
and he told me, I was like, "What are you gonna do with it?" He's like, "I'm gonna write about UFOs, become an author." I'm like, "You could just do that," and you know who else did that to me? Fucking, and I had a chance. I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't make this joke, but I had a chance.
It's a joke. Chill out.
It's my fault, but I knew Jason West before he became mayor of New Paltz,
Mm-hmm. You did.
and I was there
You were there.
the night that he said, "I'm going to run for mayor." And I said, "Of where?" And he said, "Of New Paltz." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "I'm going to marry gay people." And I was like, "You could do that?" That was all I said.
I remember you telling me that story, and he did it.
And he did it.
Yep.
And he was the first one in modern times, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
publicly. There was my chance. Screwed it all up, Brandon.
What, were you going to marry him?
I could have took him out right there. Snuffed the whole thing right there.
Well, there's nothing wrong with friggin' that,
No,
though.
I'm not. I'm not really against
I know that's the joke. That's the joke part, people. Chill.
I thought there was some kind of tax cuts or something for married people, but it's not much.
But
They're gonna have
that
kids.
just goes to show, like, I mean, I remember that, and I was like, I'm so for it still to this day. But when you call out stuff like, now it's a trend, now it's trendy, you're a bigot. And it's
Well,
like, I'm just pointing out fucking facts.
It's definitely trendy. It's gotten more popular as the year goes by. Now
Yeah, and it's not real or it's not a natural thing if you
No.
do not see it occurring in other parts of the world.
that's it. That's the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a natural thing. It's not something that's brought on by
Evolution.
right, because there's places that are more densely populated than the United States by a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not even on the fucking top 100 of that. Like, yeah, there's places in the United States that have that kind of density, but overall, we got a big country and there's not that many people here, even though we're third population. But we're also third in landmass.
And the percentage of people that identify as that and how loud their voice is disgusting compared to the rest of the nation. There's how many people in America? 300 and some 50 million,
So
just about
that.
40,
Yeah, around
35 it was, I think, 2 years
there. Right.
ago.
So around there.
And there's only like 1.2 million people that
Yes.
identify.
Yes. So that's like 1/3% or less than 1/3%.
And they're controlling everything.
Well,
It seems like, as far as like if you're a good person or a bad person, they get the final say. And it's like, all these years you're an ally, and then the minute you are like, wait a second, this is kind of, you guys are starting to like go like in the wrong direction. You're not like really
right.
I don't want to see you dancing around young little kids.
No.
And then you're not an ally, you're a bigot.
It's funny because like the gay people I know, at least the ones I've talked to about this, want nothing to do with it.
You're right. There are a lot of people that are old school and they
Like what?
fucking are just
Like, I want
sickened.
nothing to do with this.
Sickened by them.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they see it as virtual signaling,
Mm-hmm.
as corporate America has realized gay people have money.
It's crazy. Yep.
I think it's woken people up though, to a certain extent.
We'll find out.
And then here's something else I wanted to check. So I went on Facebook, changed my profile picture.
To what color?
Barney.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was fucking amazing.
And so I heard that they put the ribbons up or whatever, the gay ribbons there.
Where?
On Facebook, they got some kind of banner or something there. It looks like a ribbon.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, well, I got 1,000 some odd friends on Facebook. Out of them, I know that a few dozen are gay. So let me go see if they put that up. Nope. Then let me just go through my feed. Oh, it's a married white woman with the gay banner. Oh, another married white woman.
Couple Karens.
That's all it was just
Karens.
straight people that put that up. That doesn't say that gay people weren't putting that up, but I just thought that was
Well, that's the other big power voice in our culture right now, is the privileged white female. And they're the ones like complaining about everything.
Well, they're the biggest demographic, right?
Well, they got time to bitch because they got nothing to do. They got all plenty of money.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, I'm just going to go do what I want and get my avocado toast. And I'm going to go and get my freaking kids from the school. And then I'm going to go and look at the internet. And I'm going to change my profile pic to Ukraine. And then I'm going to go complain about friggin' Bill Maher saying something like it's a fucking, he didn't say what I like this week.
Right.
Stupid. Biden can't do none about gas prices, you fucking bigot.
Oh God, that's the worst.
So there's just two. Besides the super offended and younger LGBTQ people who want to be able to be so fluid they can change from a male to a female like every few minutes, and you have to supposedly follow them through their fucking journey.
Yeah. Follow me through my sexual journey, man.
The white soccer mom Karen is the other voice that's really fucking things up in the discourse of America.
We know
because they're so self-righteous.
Well, that's just it.
They're about as sanctimonious as we are.
Yeah, at least they think so. When you follow the psychology of it, all right, so you see 3 young bears. What do?
You see 3 young
You're in
bears.
the woods and you're out there roaming around. You see 3 little cubs.
What do you do?
Yeah.
I don't know. You just be like, oh, look, they're so cute.
Well,
There's
I
a
wouldn't
bunch
do
of
that.
bears.
I would look at them for a second like, let's get the fuck out of here. Now, if I just saw a bear on its own, and this
I
has
mean,
happened,
what kind of bear are we talking about?
well,
Black bear
it's the only
or
kind we
grizzly?
no, black bears. We got black bears around.
Yeah, but I've seen black bears in the fucking woods before, and I don't.
Adult black bears you've seen,
I've seen cubs too.
right? But what was the feeling when the cubs were around?
Of course, I'm not gonna fucking go near the goddamn things. I might just stand here and like appreciate seeing some wildlife.
Right.
But if
You're
I
gonna keep your
see any
distance.
danger, yeah, I'll run.
You're gonna keep your distance.
I could smell that danger. Yeah.
right, because you don't know how the mother's gonna react,
Right.
and
That's the other thing, though. First thing you're gonna do is look for the mother.
first
When
thing
you
you're gonna-
see-
because that's where the danger is,
Mhm.
and you're in the most dangerous time because the cubs are right there, and she's gonna do anything she can to protect her cubs. We're
Mhm.
also mammals. That's also ingrained in us. So women who have kids, who seem to be the loudest group, or one of the loudest groups, I should say, at least they're up there. They're encouraged to protect their kids, and sometimes they're misled. Sometimes they're not doing what they're supposed to.
Well, that happened at one of the drag shows last week that that Stein dude was at. You know, I think it was Alex Stein was at one of them, and he was. Maybe that wasn't his footage. I have to go back and check, but I think it was a drag queen that asked a little kid. He's like, "Are you gay?" And he's like, "No." And then the mother's like, "Oh yeah, yes he is. Yeah, he is."
Oh my god,
What the fuck?
he's a kid.
Yeah. And the mother's just like, "So I eat avocado toast. I eat toast. I eat avocado toast."
I've seen that shit. There's this channel called Odin's Men, and I don't know where the fuck this guy finds these people from, or how he has such a knack for finding the cringiest people alive. But I've seen that. No, he's gay. He's gay. Not at this particular thing, but other times, like, oh, we're looking for advice about transitioning our son. That he's 4. What?
Here's the other thing, folks. You got this fucking fat ass penguin lookalike wannabe Jerry Nadler, fucking trying to get the age to acquire guns to 21. 21.
Who's he got?
Because he says their brains aren't yet fully formed. People's brains at 21. But then we got people like that woman saying, "Yeah, they think he's a girl. He wants or she wants to be a dude."
Yeah.
At 4 or 5, and it's
Right.
like, yes, so brave,
So
strong,
brave. But the factor that
proud.
that their brain isn't formed is never considered.
Never.
Right.
Let's just get them on puberty blockers this instant, please.
This is fucking population control.
Yeah, it seems like to me it's not a far-fetched to call it eugenics.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're doing a lot of social engineering.
That's, to me, that's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the greatest social engineering things that have ever been invented.
Yeah,
Ever.
'Cause it's
Because
so
and I'm not scared. I'm not afraid to admit I've bought into some of it at certain points in my life too. The worst thing was like, and this was almost even, well, it kind of goes hand in hand, but like during the Bush years, hating the Republicans so much definitely put me into a far left like slide where I'd be watching fucking Morning Joe, MSNBC every goddamn day, you know? And it wasn't until Trump ran and I just started seeing the lies after lies where I was like, wait a second. What's going on with this Bernie guy? You know, so it was like fucking, why is he getting fucked by the party he's a part of? So it was like, after that, I got, you know, I just realized that it doesn't matter what fucking party you're with, they're usually only gonna fucking support their own.
Yes, usually, and their interest.
And the people that are at the top of the party,
Right.
They're the ones running the show.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's how I knew like Bernie's not going to get in. He was an independent for a long time. He spoke a lot of ill about the DNC. He's had problems with the DNC before. So I also read the fucking party guidelines handbook, which not a lot of people do, I've noticed.
Okay.
Which is, I was like, yeah, he's not going to win. Why would they give it to Bernie, because it's their choice. Your vote doesn't fucking matter in the primary. It's not a real election.
Yeah, they just placate.
There's no constitution. There's no constitutional rule saying that the majority who gets the majority of votes has to run for a party. That's not in there. The Communist Party is alive and well in America, and they don't hold a primary, but yet they're on the can. They have a candidate every fucking time. So, it just goes to show that you don't have to have a primary, and we shouldn't be paying our fucking taxes for it. I don't know how the Democrats and Republicans conned us into that, but
I just don't know how we've been conned over the years into paying all these taxes. Like, we're getting double taxed on fucking triple taxes, and every time you pay something, you're getting taxed, and it's like, what the fuck happened to being taxed once?
that's not gonna happen. Right now, you get taxed at labor when you're making the money, right?
You get taxed when you're spending the money.
You get taxed when you buy and sales, right? Then you go sell it, taxed again.
Yep, and then every year you're getting taxed fucking for making the money again.
Yeah, so I just don't.
They're taxing tax returns now. That's true.
Is that true?
Yes.
Holy shit! You gotta be shitting me. How did that pass?
I don't fucking know, but it's like when I saw that, I was like, what the fuck? And people, people don't care. They don't pay attention.
No, they don't.
They don't pay
attention. As long as there's somebody halfway across the world working for shit, I have to fucking look at. And I can get my fucking coffee and iPhone working in the morning.
Yeah, I think they're. What the fuck was it? They were saying it's income. It's a taxable income. Your tax returns.
What? It's not income. It's the money that you overtaxed me.
It's fucking stupid. And now, I mean, dude, there's so many fucking things.
We got to get away from the private centralized bank. The Federal Reserve.
Definitely got to end the Fed, but nobody even gets that.
They're going to end themselves with the amount of fucking money they're producing right now.
That's the only hope I had. Like, the other day, I was like, I heard, like, who the fuck was saying something?
It's going to be dark and deadly, but...
I mean... That's really what is going to happen. Like the Federal Reserve is going to disappear because they fucked the American people so much. They're going to cause a revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what
nothing's going to get better without blood, unfortunately, it seems, because people just won't.
No, they're like really like sticking it to everybody. And they're like, let's just see how much they can take.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's just see how much they can take, these dumb bastards.
People rooting for it. And there's a lot of rhinos out there that root for it, too. And there's a few Democrats that I see, like the guy from West Virginia the other day was talking about how much danger we're in with inflation. And he's a Democrat still somehow. I don't know. But what's his name? Joe Manchin?
Manchin.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Or is that the head of the... I can't remember. But the senator from West Virginia, he's a Democrat. And he's one of the few Democrats that makes sense to me anymore. He's also the one that...
Was he... Joe Manchin was the guy that was holding, like, the whole fucking Biden Build Back Better bill. Like,
he voted against it.
Yeah. And that's why it didn't get through.
And they were out there, this is a threat to our democracy.
Yeah.
Why? Because he voted his conscience? He used his vote.
You can't... That's the new party rule, or the new party talking point. If you vote against the Democrats, it's a threat to democracy.
Maybe democracy just didn't go the way you liked it. That's all that happened there. It's so fucking ridiculous. When I first heard that, I was like, so he voted democratically and
not to spend another couple $1 trillion.
How do you threaten your democracy somehow?
Mm-hmm.
That's like these January 6th hearings going. Nobody gives a fuck.
Oh, I haven't even gotten to see any of that stuff yet. But I just like watched a couple things. I guess they got Dick Cheney's daughter up there.
Yeah,
fucking
what the fuck? Dick Cheney.
Anything that Dick Cheney's daughter says, you should fucking just forget instantly.
If you ever find yourself agreeing with the Cheneys, reconsider your fucking life.
I feel bad because you're when we moved 2 weeks ago, your mom was it Chris?
Yeah.
Was saying he's really proud of what Liz Cheney's doing at the moment, and I was just like, why would you say that? Because he's been fucking brought right into the.
If you realize he doesn't. All right, there's a lot of people I know, especially that are older, who
the only news feed they get is
right. But if you talk to them about their political views, it doesn't match up. and they're still voting Democrat. So if you would have noticed, my Uncle Chris holds a lot of views that are very conservative, but he still votes Democrat because that's what he was brought up to believe.
Yeah, he doesn't understand the shift that's happened. He doesn't even understand.
He doesn't realize the pendulum has swung.
Yeah.
So the things that he's talking about
are normal, old school Democratic ways,
but they're no longer there on the Democratic side. You know, my mom does it too. You know, my mom fits the profile of, she's a super professor. You know, she's one of these new super professors who gets hired by these big schools to go fix a problem for a year. And then she goes on to the next school and fixes the next problem.
Old school Democrat.
Right. But there's a lot of views I know that she holds that, like, the Democratic Party, at least
totally disagree with her now,
or at least a faction of it does.
A faction,
right? You know, like she wants to pass some of her earnings or whatever. You know, when she goes, whenever that is, down to me, I'm like, generational wealth. That's something that the Democrats are against now. So my Uncle Crust is even more so. He just hasn't realized it. Like,
yeah, it's tough.
Like if you would have talked to him about the border, you would have found out, like, you know, because you know, he's very what's the word? Institutionalized. You know, he worked for the IRS for a long time.
Right. Yeah.
He was in the National Guard for a long time. He was over in Iraq. So
he's no stranger to government.
No, he's not, and he loves America. Right.
Yeah.
He just doesn't realize that that's no longer kosher on one side.
Well, he was also brainwashed, along with many other people, to believe like Donald Trump was Hitler.
Yes. That never happened.
When did Hitler say he wants his people to keep their fucking guns?
Never.
I find that one of the funniest arguments ever. When people are like, he was fucking Hitler, and he's like, he was the one, he's saying, you know, he wants people to remain armed. He doesn't want to take away your weapons. And also, he made Jerusalem the capital fucking.
That was strange.
Or not the capital, but
he moved the embassy.
The embassy
to Jerusalem. Now, Jerusalem is supposed to be like a free city underneath Israeli governance or whatever.
But I just found that weird that people can't put that together. Where maybe I'm missing some context, but if you were a Nazi, you don't help the Jewish people out.
No, those two things don't.
That's not supposed to work together.
No, well, they could.
If he was playing 4D chess.
Well, here's something. Here's something that
he
people
might be.
Don't want to accept. That there's a thing called Zionism. What's Zionism? You know what that is?
I'm no, I don't know a definition of Zionism. I've heard of the
Zionists believe that the Jewish people should have a homeland that's meant for Jewish people.
Okay.
All right. Makes sense, right?
And that was part of and Jerusalem being the holiest of holy places.
Right. I mean, it's in the word Jerusalem, you know. It's there. So that's where they were from. That's where Judah, Kingdom of Judah was.
So Zionism includes Jerusalem.
Well, yeah. You know, especially like if you're a hardcore Zionist, then yeah, you would want the whole area to be.
But the main definition is you just should have a place for your own people to live.
Right. And, you know, if you look at Israel, they have like a tiered second-class citizens. They have a tiered citizenship, citizenry, where the Jewish people get to go through one door and the Palestinians have to go through another. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Sounds like segregation.
It is like segregation. Now, here's something that this is a very...
How open-minded of them.
This is something that people just have a hard time accepting. But the Nazis were inspired by Zionism. Germany for Germans is kind of similar to Israel for Jews. And the tiers of citizenry. Now, they also were inspired by a lot of other places, you know, American Jim Crow laws, the revanchists from France, the Thule Society. It goes on and on. But one of the influences was definitely the Zionists. They kind of mimicked them.
Well,
It was almost as if Nazism is Zionism for Germans or something.
Very well could be. Very well could have been.
And the American view of Germans is kind of off, or at least the modern view of Germans is, because we think of Germans as like Germany. That's where Germans are from.
But they're not. No.
They're not all from there. I mean, Germans are from Germany, yeah.
A lot of them from Russia.
Well, yeah, there's Germans from Russia, right? So, like, the German ethnicity is what they were really talking about in Nazi Germany. You know, and not a lot of people have a lot of concept of the Holy Roman Empire, right? Over 200 little states that were loyal to different people from all over fucking Europe. But those were all Germanic folk, right? You know, same thing with Norway, Germanic, Denmark, Germanic, Sweden. Where else? Austria, obviously. What's the other one down there? Can't remember. Liechtenstein.
Liechtenstein.
Is it Liechtenstein or is it?
But wasn't there a lot of like Germanic people on the fucking west of Russia, like all?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Intermixed with the Slavs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of Slavs though.
Okay.
A lot. Think about all the Slavic countries: Russia, Belarus, Estonia, Ukraine, Czechoslovakia, Slovakia. Actually, Czechoslovakia is not there anymore. So Slovenia and Slovakia, Serbia, a lot of Serbs there too. But yeah, there's a lot of.
But anyways, back to the story of the Germanic people.
Yeah, so you know they wanted a homeland for the Germanic people, right? Which is very similar to Zionism wanting a homeland for the Jewish people.
Mm-hmm.
Now it gets a little weird. It gets pretty racist pretty quick when you start really looking into it. You know, like if.
But America's the only racist fucking place on earth.
Just listen. All right, so
come on.
So this is gonna get us banned.
We're the only.
So if you look at
don't lie to me.
The other Semitic people, right, who are allegedly descendants from Shem. Now Shem was one of Noah's kids.
One of the Three Stooges.
No, he was one of Noah's kids, and
the other brother.
He was supposed to help repopulate the earth after the flood, right? And the people that descended from him are known as Seminites, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're anti-Semitic,
that's what that means.
That's what that means.
Okay.
Now, the Jewish people aren't the only people that are Semitic. Otherwise, why have a whole other word for them? Arabs are also Semitic. They're also descendants from Shem, allegedly.
So if you could be anti-Semitic if you're talking about Arabs.
Sure, anti-Semitic.
But nobody uses that.
Nobody uses it that way, even though that would be a correct usage.
Okay.
All right. So the Israeli claim to the land, right, of Palestine is heretical, right? It's saying that our people are from here, so that's why we should have this land. Similar to Native American claims on America, they're from here, so they should have this land, right? Now that difference between Native Americans and their claims, heretical claims, to the Israeli ones, is if I look at Native Americans and I look at all the people that have claims around them, right? They all have a similar look, right? They all have a similar features, similar genetic makeup.
Mm-hmm.
I could line up that they were all here at one time, and that they were definitely here, and that their bones are in the ground, and yada yada yada. Now, if I go to Palestine, and I look around at all the people that have heretical claims around Palestine, so I look at Syria, right, and I look at those people and their genetic makeup and their color of their skin and yada yada yada. I go to Egypt, which maybe we will do, and you look at the color of the skin there, Jordan, right, Lebanon. They all have a similar tone to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at Israel, and you look at the color of those people's skin, and it's not the same for some of them, especially the people that are in control of Israel. They're all pale white dudes.
Right.
So if they have a heretical claim saying that they were from there, and we know everybody else is from there, so they should have some similarity in their genetic makeup. But they don't.
Well, I mean,
and that's because
digging into history, what do you find?
Well, you find that the Ashkenazis, right, which was a Slavic group, right?
Okay.
That was on in the Caucasus Mountains in Ukraine. You also there was also what the hell was her name? Basically Kazanis, Kazakhstan.
Okay.
I can't remember what their full name is. But those people were in the middle of when the Crusades were going on, right? And they were in the middle, right? They were on the borderlands. So the Muslims would come through and they would kill everybody, convert everybody to Muslims, and then the Christians would come through and kill everybody, and convert everybody to Christianity,
Fucking crazy.
and back and forth. And finally, those people said, "We had a fucking enough. We're Jewish."
Oh, so that's where that's where you're not laying claim to that. You're not saying that's 100% true, but
that's definitely true.
It's 100% true.
That's definitely true. Yeah.
So that's where you're saying the Jewish people came from, just having enough of the Crusades.
A lot of the ones that we see with the skin tones that we see,
that's where they're from.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of their white skin tones. That's what they would come from. Yeah. And a big part.
And they just stuck with it. Not that there wasn't Judaism before that. That's just the way they were like, we're part of this. Fuck you.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. They were non-Hebrews that joined Judaism.
Okay.
Converted. They also established the autonomous zone, oblast. So there's this place in Russia, and it's been there since the Tsars. And it's called, it's basically their version of Utah. You know how we sent the Mormons to Utah to get rid of them?
Well, you go out there.
There was a lot of Jewish people who wanted their own state in Russia, even back when the Tsars were around. And so they gave them land in the Far East.
They said, just go do your thing.
And it's called the Jewish Autonomous Oblast.
Okay.
Now, during communism, religion was supposed to be outlawed in all throughout Russia, right, and throughout the Soviet Union. Yet the Jewish Autonomous Oblast
kept on going.
Services kept happening. Now, there's one more thing about the Jewish Autonomous Oblast that's kind of interesting.
What's that?
Look up their flag.
Okay. I just sat down in the back of the couch.
Sorry,
and now you
look at
tell
the
me to
flag.
get back up here. Okay. I'm looking up the flag for
the Jewish Autonomous Oblast. This is when we get banned, right here.
Well, we're not going to show it, so.
Well, we're just talking about it. That's enough.
Oh, yeah, it comes right up. Flag.
What are you seeing?
Right now, I'm just seeing a rainbow.
A rainbow, huh? That's interesting. They got a rainbow flag. Where else what do we normally associate a rainbow flag with?
Oh.
Right.
So you're just saying that they're just, the symbology that's happening is just them.
It could go on and on. I mean, the rainbow.
Are you going with the conspiracy theory here?
We could go into conspiracy theory if you want. All right.
So you're just saying this, the rainbow.
It's just a rainbow flag. That's just very odd that the Jewish Autonomous Oblast is a rainbow flag.
And them showing their might.
And they also survived the communists, were a time where they were dragging priests out in the street and killing them, burning down churches. Somehow they survived. They have a rainbow flag as their flag. Now, what is a rainbow? Let's think about that for a second.
It's the light spectrum.
It's a light spectrum. It's a 2D representation of light, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, in Christianity, there's a character named Lucifer, right? And
Light. Yeah.
Lucifer was the light bringer, right? So we also call him Venus, right? And that's because, when you see Venus, that means the sun's about to come up. It's the only time you can see Venus, right? So rainbows are a representation of light, the light bringer. This is something that came to me because of my experiences. But, and one time in ufology, people used to talk about seeing little green glowing men. And then some point before I was born, saying that you saw little green glowing men got you labeled as crazy. But there was millions of reports of little green glowing men in the 50s, 40s, and 60s, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then somewhere in the 60s, that became laughable. Why is that? How did that happen overnight? Why did the little green men just stop coming here? Like the little green glowing men just stopped coming here? Or were those people, all those million people in a conspiracy and lying?
Well, it's also you can see it in all over ancient artwork.
Right. So here's the thing: those little people that I saw, right,
Mm-hmm.
which nobody sees anymore allegedly, and Pat saw them too. They were illuminated, right?
Okay.
And I was invited to join certain fraternities several times,
Mm-hmm.
solely based off my experiences that I saw these beings,
Okay.
which these groups sometimes go by or conflated together as the Illuminati, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lucifer's the light bringer. They're allegedly satanic. They're illuminated allegedly, and
So that's your conspiracy theory.
yeah, they're
for
worshiping
the
these
day.
little green people.
Yeah, with the rainbow flag showing up everywhere and trying to take over everybody's minds. It's just a big flex.
Big flex.
It's just a flex.
Just a flex. Now they've taken colors on and off that rainbow. Now I hear it's going through like a lot of. They've
Jesus Christ, it's
added
disgusting.
fields. Yeah, yeah.
It's like they got friggin' all these triangles now in it that are different colors, and they got friggin'. It's like it's gonna end up looking like a fucking QR code pretty soon. Just a colored QR code.
God. I saw a picture of one in Dublin, that they had during the Pride Parade, I guess. Yeah, so Sardi's cracks me up. So they had a Pride Parade scheduled for here, right?
No.
Yeah, they did.
When?
Well, the road's fucking closed, so. So Sardi's okay to Pride Parade, and now
then closed the roads.
Closed the roads.
It's fucking, that's 4D chess.
4D chess right there.
I don't think Socrates would do that, though. I feel like Catskill might do something like that.
Well, Catskill thinks it's woke.
Maybe not the town board.
Maybe not, but
I mean, or not, they used they.
I know
well,
some
they
people on
weren't.
that town board.
They weren't. They weren't at one time.
Maybe
I mean,
not.
I'm Jesus Christ. I almost feel like I might have to leave Catskill now. I mean, I went up there trying to get away from Sugartown, and now it's worse than Sugartown.
Oh yeah, you knew that was gonna happen. It was always worse than Sugartown.
Not really. No.
That was one of the few towns I was afraid to go to around here. They're in Ellenville. Only place I've been robbed is
Catskill.
I got robbed in Catskill.
But not worse in the sense that people were pretentious and fucking like.
Not that way. It wasn't Rhinebeck way. No.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. I feel like Socrates. They got the little Brooklyn moniker.
Oh yeah.
Way back when hits started coming around, and that's when I was like, "Peace, I'm out."
It's gotten worse since then.
But now, like, a little leapfrog happened up in Catskill. Right
Well,
now,
they
they're
are.
like fucking cutting edge, fucking
They're all moving there.
cutting edge, fucking woke.
I haven't been there in a while. I drive through to go to my aunt's. That's it.
I mean, you're gonna now you got a car. You're gonna have to come hang out more, and
Got
like
the
we
new
said,
ride.
we'll start up a second studio up there.
Yeah, that's what we should do. We got a lot of space up there.
Yeah,
You have
I was
so
saying we
much
could make
space.
up some sets. You know, we could make up some sets,
Can.
little sets.
You have access to so much space right now, and I'm so used to having access to a lot of space.
Yeah,
And now I don't. You know,
because you've moved. Yeah,
like I had free reign over Harold's for a long time, so that was, the back parking lot and 3 floors that I could do whatever I wanted on, and then I had the house, and Leif didn't really
he didn't give a shit.
about nothing, so I had free reign over that whole house, and now I'm in the living room. So I'm gonna make it my room.
I feel like Jack's got similar issues. I feel bad for him. Like he can't escape he can't find that solitude anymore. You know,
Right.
I don't know if you feel like that over there. Maybe not. There might be times where you are alone. He doesn't get that anymore.
I don't get that, but her personality makes it so that I'm not that interesting to her for that long, so she moves on quickly. She's very all over the place, very multitasking all the time. So it's in and out if she comes in.
I feel like we're in a peculiar place in life where
It's been good for me though. I got the car, got the phone, I got a bunch of fucking molds that I wanted.
nice.
So it's money wise, it's been good.
Well, money wise, I bet it's fucking great.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, Jesus Christ, that's the one thing I'm jealous with Jack about. But yeah, for me, I'm just like just scooping the money out and keep scooping it
Scooping
out. It's like I'm not going anywhere. I'm just spinning fucking wheels. But at least we got this great show fucking going.
Yeah, it's
you know?
going. It's going. We'll
There's-
have Chris here next week.
Yeah, maybe we'll have time to do some shit this week. I know we're always saying that, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I mean, that track suits for Ukraine, we might be missing the window on that, but
we'll get to it. I saw a great one today. This guy goes into his closet. He's a gopnik, and he goes into his closet to get something to wear, and he's trying to choose what to wear, and it's all Adidas tracksuits.
Jesus Christ. I thought of a good one I wanted to do. I wanted to do Janet Yellen. As one of the little pod people from the Dark Crystal, talking about like just get the little pod person, the one they suck the essence out of.
Who's Janet Yellen again?
She's that little white haired friggin' grandma.
She's the treasurer.
Talking about inflationary. It's only gonna be. Yeah.
She's such a crock of shit, dude.
It's like they get the nicest little old lady to tell you, you're fucked. The whole economy's gonna crash, but it's just transitory. So we're expecting it to come down real fast.
It's not the way that works. You
It's
can't
called-
just keep printing fucking money.
It's called gaslighting, dude. That's why they got the old grandma that you think want to make you some fucking cookies and bake you some fucking brownies, sitting there telling you,
we couldn't foresee. How come the fucking comedian on late night television can see it? How come that guy can see it, but you can't, and you're the fucking treasurer?
oh God.
Holy shit.
So anyways, I wanted to make her into one of those little fucking pod people from fucking Dark Crystal, and then get her shit sucked out, the essence sucked out of her, like, it's inflationary, it's transitory.
Fucking
yeah. Somebody put together a fucking gaslight fucking thing, and it's basically all of late 2020 into early 21 January, where they're just like, there's no inflation, there's nothing wrong, nothing here, there's nothing to see here, it's nothing anywhere. All the experts say it's just a little bump and it's gonna come back down, and then like in January they're starting to take it serious. So like, okay, all right, yeah. Oh, maybe we're gonna have to do something about this, and then it became Putin's problem.
right.
All of a sudden,
That's just
in
like the gas
February.
prices. They're trying to. Well, the rise of gas prices, they're just temporary because of supplies. Well, the rise of gas prices are because of Putin's war, and now it's as soon as Russia started a mass on the border.
It's all his fault.
Yeah, Putin took a shit. It's like, fuck fucking Russia. How much trade did we do with Russia beforehand? I never saw anything made in Russia around here. Like, fucking very rarely you find something made in Russia.
Oh, did you see when the people associated with Hillary got fucking killed? Another one?
Another one down, huh? Arkansas.
Yeah, another Arkansas happened.
Got little rocked.
I was just thinking about that because we're talking about all this gaslighting, and it just reminded me of the intro. The fucking intro for the show is basically all the gaslighting that we had to endure for 4 years. Fucking, it's a nothing burger. That's what fucking Russia was. That's what Russiagate was, and it's like getting proven now, finally. And people don't want to listen.
No, they're not gonna listen, Brandon. It's the problem with identity politics is, and that's something the left.
It's because they've tied their identity and their ego to it.
It's all tied to it. That's like someone saying to me, "You don't know shit about D&D."
And you being like, fuck you, I know it all.
Let's fight.
And they're like, they tell you some hardcore facts, and you sit there and go, nope, that ain't right.
Yeah, it just keeps going.
They show you the book cover with the name. It says Dungeons and Dragons. And you're like, that don't say Dungeons and Dragons to me.
I gotta say, when Trump first ran in 2016, I was like, this guy's fucking lying. He's not gonna do it again. He's a fucking liar.
Right.
And then he took the phone call from Taiwan. I was like, the news is fucking in for China. Fuck the news. And then nothing happened what the news was saying. It was just repeat fucking barrage of nothing.
I remember when he finally took some military action, and it was like, I forget what he did. He like took a bunker buster into fucking Afghanistan or something, or Iraq or something, and it was because he like used fucking a bomb, you know, which is basically military industrial complex being like, nice,
Yeah.
you're gonna make us some money. All of a sudden, every news channel was like, he's finally acting like a president.
Yeah.
It's like,
exactly
what the
what's going on.
fuck?
And then, there's people out there who are screaming, Trump's gonna start World War III. He's starting World War III. And now we're like give bombs to Ukraine to bomb the Russians.
Yeah,
It's like,
who cares if they want to nuke us? Just give them more.
It's like, what the fuck, man? What point do you look in the mirror and say, I need integrity? Like, holy shit, dude.
We should make that one a shirt. I need integrity.
It's like fucking holy lack of
Integrity.
principles. Like,
Integrity Farms.
like your principles don't sway with public opinion. Like, holy shit.
No.
And that's when I was like, I gotta start sticking to my principles because this shit's fucking nuts.
Yeah, for real. That's why, like, with the whole like abortion debate and that going on, I'm like, I have the same principles that when I was younger, I heard Bill Clinton say safe, rare, and legal. I still believe that to this day. But if you're going to say, if you're going to like go beyond that, where you're pushing for, basically once you can have an abortion at friggin' the dilation of the cervix, that's, well into fucking the ninth, you're basically ready to have a baby come out your uterus, and you're saying you want that legal? Well, then I will step to the other side and say it should, no, fuck you. That's murdering.
To see Mark Dice, he did a thing about this where he's walking around the beach, Oh, how long should abortion be legal? Oh yeah, all the way. So to like 18. Yeah.
To 18 years old. Yeah. I did see some of that. I was like, Jesus Christ. They're like talking to like, so like if a mother, has like a 3 or 4 year old and they feel like they've tried it and they don't want, it's not working out, they should be able to have an abortion, right? Like, oh yeah, sure. I was like, people
don't give a fuck.
The fuck, these people are either stoned out of their fucking minds and don't know what the hell they're talking about, or they're just fucking so like when they hear the abortion word, they know they have to say,
yes,
it all has to be legal.
That's what it is. I thought for a second, is he like following people, like chasing ambulances and like just don't have the time to talk to him, so we're gonna pay no attention to him? And he's just editing that out? No. Holy shit, dude.
It's fucking nuts.
It is nuts. But once I was like, I gotta stick by these principles, like every fucking time. And that's not gonna make me any fucking friends.
Not anymore. No. I mean, half the friends you knew in high school hate your guts now if you say half the shit that's on your mind. And it's because they're running with the same, to me, it's like a high school mentality they're still running with. They just want to be part of the popular crowd. And I guess it's a human type fucking thing where, like you're a lemming and you fucking don't want to be on the outside of the pack, and you're just following fucking what feels good. But I guess that's being the curse of being a critical thinker.
Right.
You're willing to be like, go ahead, fucking banish me from your stupid fucking circle of Karens.
Yeah, I didn't have the banishment problem. I did start to have problems on fucking Facebook.
Dude, I deleted some shit I said to somebody the other day because I'm just like, they're just never gonna. It was about like I said, it was about the friggin' the drag queen and the fucking kids seeing cocks fucking thing, and they're just like defending it because it has to do with fucking gay pride. And it's like, no, can't we just agree that it's wrong? So I deleted all that shit because I'm like, they don't care.
They don't.
They don't care.
That's it. They don't.
I'm just like, these people have no time to actually stop and think about what they actually just said.
Well, that's it. They're not that's another thing that turned me is like people going, the Republicans are so dangerous and violent, blah, 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 this and that. I'm like, he's in jail. He's underneath investigation for some fucking anti-Trump shit. your life's going. Like, it's just I started to know people whose lives
Are ruined because of
started to fuck up their lives because Trump became president.
yeah, and it's like,
They
who
went-
are you to talk?
They went like I don't know the Republicans that fucked up their lives because Trump was president.
Or I don't know any Republicans that fucked up their lives because Biden is president.
Right, that's what I'm getting at. Like, at some point, you gotta like look around you and start dealing with reality. Like, my band broke up because that's that. Not that was totally it, but you know, this friend's fucking underneath investigation for flipping out, calling people Trump supporters out of fucking post office. Like,
They lost control
of
their fucking personal their psyche.
Right. Autonomy. It's like they're running on pure emotion somehow, and that's enough to persuade them. It was like during the George Floyd riots. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
yeah, they're all.
How are
I
they-
mean, somebody said that on
how is this helping?
the tweets the other day or whatever. They're like, people fucking supporting burning down cities for fucking a year and a half, 2 years straight, but when it comes to the January 6th, it's like they're fucking appalled that
They're appalled.
some people went and walked through the Capitol.
Yeah. I mean, that they might make an example out of people at the January 6th thing, but nothing's gonna happen because nothing fucking happened.
Well, a good majority of them were let into the building.
Yeah.
And waved in. There's video of them being waved into the building. There's video of people that suspiciously are probably federal agents saying, "Go in the building.
Yeah. That guy just,
Run in the building. We got to take over."
right. They wouldn't allow that footage into the committee. I heard.
They wouldn't. That guy's still fucking walking around free.
Oh yeah,
because
he's still walking around free.
He's total fucking.
But there's hundreds of videos of him going around telling people to go in.
Yeah. And even the day before, there's people
Yeah.
fucking. He's trying to rile people up, and there's people yelling at him, going, "Fed, Fed,
Yes.
Fed,
Yes.
Fed."
Yes.
I'm like, this is good stuff, but you ain't going to see that on CNN or MSNBC.
No, I'm not gonna show it to you.
You ain't going to see it.
No, the fucking goddamn mainstream media. Come on, can they? How much longer is that gonna go on?
Not much longer. I think they're in some death throes right now because Fox is like taking over. There's more Democrats watching Fox than ever before, and it's because they can't get real news.
Right. I mean, where else are you gonna go? This is
Because these are the people that don't know the internet, and they're like, they can see the bullshit on CNN and MSNBC, so they have to turn on Fox to get something that doesn't look like outrage or fucking
Right.
complete off the fucking hinge ranting.
Now here's something, and I've said this for a couple decades now. You've probably heard me say it. All right, so we know Fox News is propaganda because it's always been propaganda
Yeah.
since day one. But they're alone in what they're saying. They're the only ones saying it.
Yeah.
So they have no. I mean, I guess you could say OAN now.
There's a couple, America One or
America One, yeah.
Oh, that what is this? Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a couple now that
One
are available
America.
on cable news. I guess.
RT got wiped off the map since the fucking Russia invasion. They got fucking the axe from big tech.
They were kind of centrist, I thought.
They were. Yeah.
It didn't seem like they really gave a shit about America either way.
No, they were good reporting then, though. That's why. It's like when you watch some shit in some Mexico channels or Australian channels. Dude, the Australian channels are ripping
Oh my god,
Biden.
they're ripping him apart, and that's because they're on the
They
front
know-
lines.
And he's an old fool. They know it. They can
Mhm.
see it.
Yeah, you definitely can see it.
It's fucking crazy.
I said
It's all madness.
before Biden announced his nomination, I was at band practice. I distinctly
You
remember,
told him.
I am not voting for Joe Biden.
I told him.
He's going to take a black woman as his vice president, and he's going to win the nomination. Even if he doesn't, they're going to give it to him. I'm not voting for him.
I feel like I'm gonna
He's a deep state player. It's obvious.
I'm gonna like find that clip of Trump where he's like, if you vote for Biden, you're gonna be paying $7-8 a gallon for gas. I want to find that clip and like tape an iPad to my chest and walk around with it. Be like, this guy really is a time traveler.
So these new phones, right? They're too big to put in your fucking pocket. Right?
Yeah, yeah. That's why they make those belts now. You can get like this
Yeah.
little tactical belt.
So I'm like, I fucking feel like Vader. I'm just gonna walk around.
You should put it on there like that and just beep, 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 beep.
Fuck.
Well, looks like we're wrapping it up. We could do a fucking.
Oh, we got three viewers. We can't wrap it up now.
Who's towing the line?
Oh shit. Who's towing the line? Well, Matthew McConaughey, I'd say.
Oh fuck yeah, he is.
He's towing out there towing.
I didn't even watch his press conference
see it
because
either.
I was just like, oh man, Matt, I thought you were cool, man.
I was like, oh, an actor. Talking about politics. Okay.
He's trying to run for something out there in
well,
Texas.
maybe that's when I'll start listening.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what he's running for, but
Right
he's
now,
running.
it's like Pablo Picasso talking to me about politics.
Yeah.
If Pablo wanted to talk about painting, I'd sit down and shut up. If he wanted to talk politics, not so much.
Well, that goes back to like where what we were talking about with Mussolini, like on episode 1 or 2, where talking about propaganda and the Italian futurism movement and fucking all the propaganda that came out of Italy. And it just goes to show you that just because you're an artist and you think you're some liberal fucking person with an open mind doesn't mean you are above fucking promoting bad stuff.
No, I mean, think about all those Eastern Bloc artists who had their own style, that Soviet style.
Amazing artists.
Amazing artists.
On wrong side of history.
Wrong side of history.
Yeah.
But they were amazing artists. Sure.
Yeah, and that's what's happening now, I think, with the general mood of Hollywood and all the lefties who, they all make the fucking money on the artistic side of things because they got such big brains, and they're all just kicking in the effort towards fucking anti-free speech and fucking, America sucks and all this stuff. It's like, okay, yeah. All those privileges you have as an American artist, you're just shitting on.
Right, because, art's not, like, edible.
It's also supposed to be the thing that spreads information and ideas.
Yes.
Not fucking close it down.
Right. Yeah, if you're trying to close down ideas, you're probably on the wrong side of history. I don't know.
I would think so.
I'm
pretty sure all those people that are trying to close down freedom of speech have always been on the wrong side of history.
Right. I don't mind debating fascists because they're fascists. And in the end, freedom's going to win. My free views.
Just like Tom Cruise always told me.
I don't mind debating communists because in the end, freedom's going to win. I mean,
just like in the WWF.
And it's not that, like, different systems of government benefit different types of countries at different times. And right now, I don't see how communism benefits us when we have one of the higher standard of livings in the world.
Well, that goes. Funny you bring that up. Besides us trying to wrap it up, this is just a stupid Hollywood story, but it relates to the communism and where the country is and people being fucking brainwashed. This
Hollywood is entertainment. They're telling us about communism?
Well, it was that Ezra Miller thing. I think I deleted it because I didn't even want to talk about it.
I think if we went communist.
But this Ezra Miller dude, that's
on the chopping block,
fact that he's the Flash. He was
Yeah, he got arrested.
Yeah, and now he's got like charges against him because he had like this 12-year-old Native American person that he was like dragging around, grooming, giving him alcohol, LSD, fucking pot, of course, but he's dragging this kid around.
A pot will kill you.
Supposedly, the parents
twice.
lost contact with the kid and they're like trying to find him. I don't fucking know, but it's just like it's creepy stuff for a 23-year-old to be hanging out with a 12-year-old fucking,
Why? What do you have in common with 12? That's so weird. I didn't hang out with 12-year-olds at 14. Maybe a little bit, but.
Yeah, but it was like your buddy's friend or something or no, it's a little brother or something.
Yeah, usually like that. Yeah, or it was just we were playing sports in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and the kid 2 years younger wanted to play. Not that would be.
I lost the article, so don't quote me on nothing I just
said.
But
that's a bigger difference.
But you could look it up.
That's just so weird, man. I don't understand this whole kids thing.
And the kid, the fucking. This is what I was thinking to the Russian communism thing. The fucking little brainwashed kid is like puts a statement on Twitter is like and calls friggin' Ezra Miller his comrade or her comrade because I think she's queer, non-binary, LGBTQ.
Plus,
LGBTQ. I don't touch me. I want a woman to frisk me. That was the last Ezra Miller thing. Did I show that on
I
the
saw
show?
that. He got arrested in Hawaii.
Yeah.
They're going to make the sidewalks here, the crosswalks in town, rainbow flag.
Jesus fuck. No.
That passed, yeah. I don't know how many, but there's going to be one in Saugerties.
I'm going to throw up fucking rainbow.
I'm
Sherbert.
Doggy style month. Think about it. Doggy style pride. I like banging chicks doggy style. I need my own month. Otherwise, I'm being repressed, Brandon. If I don't get a doggy style month.
What is a doggy style?
What is a pride month? That doesn't even make sense. So anything, if you're having sex, have as long as it's not like consensual sex with someone of the opposite sex, then this is months for you. I don't get it. Like, what is this about?
This month's for you. This fucking sounds like an old Coke commercial. This month's for you. We should make that fucking.
Do we have a month for people having butt sex with each other? I don't get it.
Yeah,
I mean, good for them. Who the fuck
or
cares?
scissor sex?
Why
scissor
is
sex?
this a thing? It's so strange to me. How come there's not like I like chocolate milk month? Like,
how come there's not like
such a strange,
winners month? Like people that are good at
winning,
competing, and it's like this month is for all the champions out there in high school and friggin' college and major leagues that they just find a way to win.
I don't know. It's so strange.
This is the champion winners month. And they'd be like, that's bullshit. Everybody gets a trophy. You're fucking suppressing me.
You're suppressing me. It's weird. It's strange. I didn't think too much about it at first, because whatever.
All right. Well, look, I think we lost all our viewers. Nobody fucking cares about us.
All three of them?
Oh shit! Somebody just tuned in.
Dude, we got 3 people. That's a crowd.
Yeah, one. Oh,
don't fucking bum rush the chat. Yeah, back up. There's a lot of pressure right now.
No, we got to get the fuck out of here.
Well, do we? Yeah, I guess we do. I got
Yeah.
phone calls to answer.
Yeah, maybe we'll play a little music or something before you leave.
All right.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Whatever.
But
yeah, we'll be back next week.
Yabba dabba doo, Barney.
We'll be talking about
what are we gonna talk about next week?
I guess I'm gonna go see Top Gun this week, so I can talk about it.
Sick. Did you watch the new Obi-Wan stuff?
I've seen it, yeah.
All 4 of them or whatever?
There's 4 now?
I think 3 or 4.
I've seen 3.
I don't fucking know how many.
I don't know. I'm not that into it.
Yeah,
it's cool to see them like on screen.
I think
whatever.
it sucks. The writing's fucking horrible.
I'm interested. I'm not gonna say I'm not. Though I think it's weird what they did with the Inquisitors a little bit aesthetically.
Oh, we did talk about it a little last week, but we shouldn't spoil it for anybody. It's not even worth talking about, so let's not spoil it for people that want to watch a dumb show. But the one person I did see, they were like, "Who'd they make this for?" Like, they're like, "I don't even think they made it for kids. I think they made it for babies." And I was like, I kind of agree. They made it for Teletubby kids.
Teletubbies. Yeah, that was a thing.
Teletubbies is what's wrong with what's going on in the world right now.
Cabbage Patch Kids.
No, because they had the Garbage Pail Kids that people liked even more than the Cabbage Patch Kids. See, now if the Teletubbies had like an alter ego or evil ego that people are like, yeah, that was way cooler than Teletubbies, maybe this generation would have turned out okay.
Like Sea-Tubbies.
I don't know.
Sea-Tubbies. Well, they were fat, right? Were they fat?
Kinda, yeah. And they had these weird shapes on their head.
The one had a hanger on his head.
Something like that, yeah, like he's tuning in stuff. Yeah, some people always speculated that the one Teletubby's gay.
I mean, we kind of knew Bert and Ernie were gay, but we didn't really say anything, right?
I mean, I never put that together. I just like those guys are just fucking homies chilling. And
I didn't put it together
the creator also said no, they were never meant to be gay.
Oh, all right. I see. I didn't hear that till high school. I was like, oh, maybe it's true.
Yeah. Yeah. Oscar the Grouch was the man. He's just a big nug of weed.
Yeah. I like Oscar, Mr. Snuffleupagus, I guess.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. They brought Mr. Snuffleupagus out of the imaginary. Like, he was supposed to be like never be seen by anybody, and then they finally just made him a normal character.
Ah, that's bullshit.
I thought that was bullshit too. It's like you just fucking kiboshed magic.
I just found out that John Henson was the ogre.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
I met him a few times, but rich bastard.
They had that that warehouse over there on
Montgomery.
Whatever. All right,
hangar.
We're fucking out of here.
All right, we're out of here. Even though we're at peak fucking viewing right now.
Everybody, thanks for coming through.
Yeah, we'll be here next Saturday.
We'll see you next
I'm
Saturday.
gonna talk a lot of shit probably.
We're gonna try and go mobile here soon.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be glorious.
Maybe make it entertaining or something. I don't know. Just an idea.
Yeah, we're doing our best. I mean,
me just bullshitting. Hi.
When we get Barney on the channel, like, so, and I get him hooked up on the phone, he can just like dial it up and just start streaming from his place in the middle of the night. He'll have his own videos post, and it's gonna be great.
All right.
Yeah, and then I'll have the same thing, and we'll just start.
We meant to go mobile this week, but
it's growing.
Fucking UFO festival was last week.
Yeah, we missed it, dude. I've been trying to go to that fucking festival for like the last 10 years.
Me too.
And I just cannot. Every time it's like, even if I like normally I'm like, okay, it's coming up, and then I like all of a sudden something pops up where I gotta go to some stupid event, or I got like some work that has to happen, otherwise, the fucking world's gonna end. And 10 fucking years.
That's one of my regrets too. I wish I would have went down there in high school, went to the road and just like hung out. I never did that though. We never did that. I don't know why.
Well, we're gonna do it now. We're gonna bring the lights. We're gonna signal one down. We're gonna get the fucking. We're gonna.
Yeah, get the lights, laser lights.
Yep. We're going alien hunting.
Bring out some bait.
We could do that though. That would be good. We could go do some ghost hunting too, because I've always wanted to do that.
I would try that because you could just go places that are creepy.
Yeah, and you bring some recording devices, tape devices. You record,
you 3 people
and then we go.
Yeah.
Then we go and filter it on the computer into like the LF low frequency fucking waves.
I can say prayers and see if they leave me alone.
Yeah, or ask questions, see if you get answers.
I'm not doing that.
I ain't talking to no fucking ghost.
No fucking way.
Who you gonna call?
Fucking Bobby Brown.
Okay, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks,
Barnes, you want to tell everybody your social medias?
No.
Remember to like and subscribe. Hit the ding dong bell.
Leave me the fuck alone.com.
Oh, Christ. All right. We'll see you next week, everyone.
Bye.
And remember, wherever you go, there you are. Peace.